Let's freaking go. The rare Wednesday night live stream. What used to be a glorious day in LSU football lore. The Bayou Bash. You remember that? We're going to recap what was a very uneventful signing day. I am very sad that there wasn't any news today because it is kind of boring. You know, signing day is kind of meh when, of course, there is just absolutely nothing to talk about. But look, we've got a lot to get to as far as how we view the overall recruiting class. And of course, we've got a very special guest as well. There he is right there. We'll get to him in just a moment. Adam B., what's good? I shared the story recently. I was one of the first people to see him after he got engaged to Kristen. What's up, Jacob? Good to see you. Mick Skipper, the winner of the Lance Hurd autograph photo yesterday. There you go. What's up, Tyler? Good to see you. Tyler's got himself a Will Campbell autograph photo. Good to see Mick in here as well. Creek, Joshua, and I need some clap emojis in the chat right now. I need them. I need that energy. I need that positive energy. It's a rare Wednesday night live stream. So instead of watching LSU basketball, why would you do such a thing to your soul unless it's women's basketball? Why would you watch LSU versus Missouri? Really? You could be right here hanging out with us. We'll talk a little bit about basketball a little bit later. So I'm going to need a lot of clap emojis here in just a second for our guest, Mr. Blake Ruffino. We say hi to Chris. We say hi to Creek. LGZ next April. Okay, so is it this coming April or the next April? Let me know. Let me know. Akon and LGZ. I still got your photo here, LGZ. You've been slipping on me lately. Let's see. I think I can find LGZ's photo. But as far as signing day is concerned, I've gotten a lot of texts today from you guys, text, Discord messages, all that stuff. Hey, did we sign anybody today? And outside of a defensive tackle that was always going to Wisconsin, LSU did not sign anybody at all today. There he is. Look at that beautiful face. Look at that beautiful face right there. Speaking of beautiful faces, there he is, Mr. Blake Ruffino. What's up, buddy?
Oh, I was muted. Did you know that LGZ just got engaged?
He did. And
I had the last thing I heard you say was you need something, you wanted to hear something about clapping. Well, I'm an expert in clapping.
Oh no, just
if that's what you want to if that's what you want to think it is.
Golf clapping. That's exactly. We're family friendly here on PHL. What's up, buddy? How was the show tonight?
Well, we had two.
Okay.
We had the Ruffino and Joe show.
SEC
we had AYS, and then we had this one, and then I just walked outside.
Okay.
And spoke to Ben for a second. Now I'm sitting here watching LSU basketball get their arses beat.
Yeah. Well, I am not going to watch LSU men's basketball for the rest of the season unless Shaquille O'Neal walks out there or unless Stanley Roberts walks out there.
Did you know they're doing a God, what's his name? They're doing a documentary on Mahmoud Rauf.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Yes.
There you go. They're doing like an HBO special on him.
Chris Jackson. What a life. What a life. Legendary. There's a lot of people that watch LSU men's basketball and say he was at his peak the best. I know Pistol Pete was the best. I know most people would say that. But Chris Jackson was a movement. A movement.
Yeah, I mean, regrettably, I don't remember him. You know, I mean,
that was pre us, though. When were you conceived on this earth?
Conceived 1989.
Okay, yeah, me too. So I think Chris.
Born 1990.
Wait, when? Let me see. Chris Jackson. Well, I got to put his other name in there. But while I look this up, your thoughts on LSU's signing day?
Stand by.
Oh, said somebody's in the wings.
All right, so my opinion about this recruiting class, Carter, and we talked about this night on my show as well. I think it's the most balanced class that we've had in a long time. Okay. From all position groups.
Right.
I think you win the game up front. I think you got really good wide receivers. I think you got some good DBs with, including the portal. I think you got some depth on the defensive line. I think the only position that they didn't nail was quarterback.
Okay.
So and that's going to get a lot of pushback.
Not a Ricky guy.
No, I didn't say that.
But you can only bring in one quarterback, right? So most people would say, must mean Blake isn't a big Ricky Collins fan, right?
I wouldn't say that. Let me ask you, would you take Eli Holstein or Ricky Collins?
Ricky Collins. Don't even have to think about it.
Would you take Arch Manning or Ricky Collins?
It's close. It depends what kind of offense I want to run. If I want
Hey, very quickly, you wanted some wedding advice?
Okay, let's hear it. Ben. What you got?
All right.
First ever Ben appearance on PHL.
What's your advice for Uncle Carter?
Uncle Carter.
Uncle Carter. Hey, when I say Carter, you say Lee. Carter! Lee! Carter! All right, give him a salute. Give him a salute. Let's do this. Yeah. All right,
is that a soccer jersey?
Yeah, dude's killing it.
Look, he's playing the best sport on the planet.
No, he's not. All right, close the door for Daddy. Wrap it before you tap it. No, I think Ricky Collins has a long delivery. I think he's got to get better with his decision making.
Agreed.
I think that he has unreal athletic ability. But I just don't know if he's got it yet.
Okay. That's fair. No, that's fair. I'll say this. I thought Walker Howard was better coming out. I did. But one thing I really liked about Ricky Collins is he did not have a superstar supporting cast, right? And sometimes I like a quarterback who doesn't have that. Now, I'm not saying he did.
Neither did Arch.
And neither did Arch, right? But, when I watch Ricky Collins, I watched his pass protection continuously fall apart. And there's not a whole lot you can do about that. But I do agree. Mechanically, I've spoken to a few quarterbacks.
He's too long. Pause.
He's
too long. Carter, listen, we've talked about this ad nauseum.
Okay.
He has a very baseball shortstop maneuver. He goes when he receives the ball. Okay, when he's taking in the snap, when he receives a snap and he sits back to drop, he goes down, up to the L, and then throws.
Absolutely.
You do that, and you're taught in baseball, when you receive, you go to your belt, you set your sorry. You set your feet, okay, fire and throw. In football, you have to be more hip thrusty. You have to be more Dak.
You got to put that Dak in there.
Okay. So long story short, when you go here, you know who got hurt this past weekend doing the exact thing? Brock Purdy.
Right.
Ask Brock Purdy if he likes his very long release. Pause. But he's too long. He's got to get more compact. Now, the question, Carter, that I would pose is he not strong enough? And does he have to get the momentum to throw it? Like, is he just not strong enough yet? That would be the ultimate question that I have for him. But you know who doesn't have that problem? Colin Hurley.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Now, we had Colin Hurley on our show. Did you see that? Yeah. Colin Hurley is a right-handed Tua with better athleticism.
I like Colin a lot. I've talked to Colin quite a bit. He'll be on the channel.
He's Tua. I'm telling you, the kids. By the way, have you like tested his knowledge?
Not really. He's supposed to come on the channel here in a few weeks. So I know he was doing a gazillion media appearances, including yours. Your interview with him was great. I was actually on right before he came on that night, and I was like, and I was like, I'm trying to get off.
That's when you were mad at me for having Hurley on after you.
I was like, nobody wants to see me. People want to see a 4-star top.
Yes, they do. You know how I know that?
How?
We passed 1 million downloads on Apple and Spotify today. Over a total 1 million. Yeah.
There you go.
They want to see you.
Hey, Monday. That's my favorite segment I do, man. But yeah, Colin's great. Colin's absolutely great.
What is your opinion on this?
No, I think Colin's really good. I do. Like, I find him to be a unicorn in many ways. Obviously, he is very young for the class, which is very not normal. He is very, very, very young. So yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how advanced he is in a lot of different ways. Not only just interviewing, but just, mechanically winning a state championship. I am going to be interested to see what he looks like now that Webb, who's now at Florida, is no longer his running back. And I can't wait to see him. He's going to get.
He was the best quarterback at that camp, Carter.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at just camp footage, he does stand out.
It's his accuracy and touch.
Huh?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that he has better than Walker does. You ready?
Let's hear it.
He's got better touch than Walker Howard ever. Right now, it's not even close.
No, I agree. I think Colin is very advanced as a thrower.
He's just not. Would you agree with this? He's not a better runner than Walker.
No, he's not. Like, I know he looks like a dual threat quarterback, but he's a guy that stands tall in the pocket and likes to rocket that thing. But obviously, I like the fact that Ricky's different, though. I like the fact that there's a lot of different things you could do with Ricky at QB, but I do agree mechanically. It's really bad. Yeah, and look, I was lucky to run into his private quarterback coach and have a long conversation with him about that.
What did he say?
He says every day Ricky is working on that. And
there's no way. You believe that?
Well, I mean, sometimes it's just hard to who you are is who you are, right? But I'm telling you, there's a lot of quarterbacks who never get rid of their hitch. They just don't. Right?
He's gonna have to get rid of that one.
Yeah, and
because it's gonna, even if he pump fakes, Carter, is he gonna do a windmill? Is he rounding third base? Get on home.
The Patrick Peterson.
Oh yeah,
that's
that old school.
I thought it was interesting.
Oh, go ahead. So go ahead.
No, I thought it was interesting. We're gonna get to some viewer comments in just a second. That Urban Meyer went on Patrick Peterson's podcast.
I heard this.
Okay, and Urban, kind of kind of outed him a little bit, saying, "Hey, you told me you were going to Florida," and he went to LSU because he thought of more playing time. And then people, I don't know if this has been quadruple verified, but people I trust have told me this, that Urban ratted on him about ACT scores because he didn't pick Florida. People don't understand. Urban was dirty.
Do you think that he would have gone on, or do you think Pat Pete would have let him on his show if he would have really done that?
I don't know. Hey, bud.
All right. So let's talk about the woman of the hour. Okay. So three things that you guys have to do for a successful marriage. Are you ready?
Yeah.
When y'all go out drinking and he has a margarita and he says, "Baby, this ring don't fit no more. Can you put it in your pocket?" You do it because Daddy had a margarita last week. My finger's still swole. Okay.
That's salt. Boy.
Sometimes shit just happens.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Carter. Sorry.
No, you can curse. Go on ahead.
All right. I'll pay you. Okay. Number 2. You ready?
Okay.
He's always right.
Who's always right?
He.
Blake, bye. Goodbye.
Okay. I'm joking.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the real truth. Carter, she is kind of always right. Pick up your dishes. Pick up your socks.
Laundry.
Yeah. Pick up your socks. And before you leave the house every morning, just clean up a little. Just clean up just a little.
Just a little.
Thank you, Blake.
Okay. Well, listen. First off, let's get this really well. I got eight years of experience of this. Okay.
I know.
So I'm really well trained. I'm like a Shetland pony. Okay. I am really well trained. I'm like one of those ponies at your local fair that the kids get to ride on. I've been beaten into submission on how to do things the right way. Okay. Number 3. Tell him that he's looking good. Tell him that he's your dad. He's daddy. Give him some verbal love.
He fine.
You can't do that, Haley. You can't do that.
Blake.
You can't do it. By the way, I saw a video of you.
Okay. Of doing what?
Joe Burrow, did you know this? Is
Uh-huh.
exceptional at converting third and 16 and 3rd and 17s. And your reaction to Joe Burrow's 3rd and 16 to Hayden Hurst on the outside and the quick out. Proud of you. And I'm proud that you had on a jersey.
I did.
But look at what she's wearing now. Oh, come on.
Hey, never mind.
I am on I am on his I am. I'm on his live. I do have my toboggan on, sure do.
What did you just call it? What did you just call it?
A toboggan. Shut up, Blake.
Okay.
What do you call it? A sock hat or pat cap?
Hold on. What is a toboggan?
It's a beanie. Don't worry, Carter, don't worry about me looking so cute. Don't worry about it.
I thought you meant your sweatshirt. I'm like, I've never heard of sweatshirt.
A toboggan is
a toboggan. I'm like, what in the yeehaw way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, Arkansas stuff is this? Now, here's another thing.
Okay.
I got to come up there and go duck hunting.
My
Arkansas,
dad.
He goes duck hunting?
Mm-hmm.
Carter, you got to go.
My dad's an avid duck hunter.
Carter, you got to go.
I can do the little the calls and all that.
I'm telling you, dude, there's nothing like it. It's what a rush.
Well,
you come up here, go duck hunting, Blake, with my dad. He will show you a good time.
I would say probably a 4.
So you mean to tell me I get all LSU sports with you guys, and then I get to go duck hunting with your dad?
Oh my God, my dad's the best. Absolutely.
But here's what's interesting. There's a lot of LSU history with duck hunting. Stephen Ridley, really avid duck hunter.
Nobody asked about that.
Brett Helms, avid duck hunter. There's a lot of LSU legends.
Miles Brennan,
definitely.
Did Miles like duck hunt?
That's all he did.
He owns his own company now. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
an avid duck hunter.
Are you going to be? Are you watching, Michelle? Are you going to be here Saturday?
I told him Billy's We got Billy's coming in.
Oh,
Blake?
yeah, I'm there. Yeah, I'm
Blake?
there.
Are you going to be here Saturday?
Crawfish balls. Can't
Yes.
Are you really going to be here?
Yes.
You're a liar from the pit of hell. Are
will-
you going to
will-
be here?
Can I interject and say something?
No, you can't.
Yes, I can, because Danny Girl did just give us the best wedding gift ever.
She really did.
She went all out. She went all on about like.
So, hey,
big time.
Dane.
What was it?
Dane.
It was these what were their pants? They're like a bunch of like expensive pants. So yeah, Danny Girl, shout out to you. Okay, here's some wedding advice right here from King Ulysses.
Mm-hmm.
She's always right.
Thank you. She is always right, King Ulysses. Tell him.
She kind of is, dude. You're gonna have to get over it.
It's a beanie.
Like, what are you drinking, bub?
Water.
Lie.
No, I no, really, I am. I've been fighting cold. So lesson number 4, you ready? Oh,
Yeah.
she is just tearing down your.
I
know. Look at this, dude.
Well, she can't get my extensions, baby. We got the sew in for the wedding, so don't worry about it.
All right, lesson number 4. You ready? She is going at it, dude.
Is it,
Oh my god.
give her quick.
Carter, get the baby so I can talk to
All right,
Blake.
lesson number 4. Okay.
All right.
I don't know what your plans are, if you are going to have kids, if you're not, but hold on just before you say if you are or aren't. Okay.
Okay.
Understand
Mm-hmm.
that when your kids are off for a break, meaning like Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever, and they go back day 1 to daycare, they are always going to come home sick. And what's going to happen is they're not going to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to want you to hold them. And then you're going to get sick. Okay. Let me just tell you the God's honest truth. I'm a very healthy man. Okay. I pride myself on being healthy.
Yeah.
However, I've never had COVID/flu / sore throat / any illness more than when I've had this kid in daycare.
Oh, it's true. It's my girlfriend, Michelle. She's on the phone with me in my AirPods, and she's saying the same exact thing that you're saying. So, yeah.
It is unreal. And it's a monopoly.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a
so
monopoly.
You can't chew these extensions, baby. That was expensive.
okay, so
Oh, God.
so everybody in the
Spencer.
comment section,
Look at Dane. Dane said, Gracie says, hey, Haley.
give
my
your
girl.
best piece of wedding advice, marriage advice in the chat right now.
Don't have kids and just travel.
The real number 1 is selflessness. Growing up.
Yeah.
You know, growing up is probably look, man, when I met Megan, like the second time we went out and about, Daddy got drunk. Do you hear me? We went out on a boat, okay, and I was like, I'm Italian. I don't need no GD sunscreen. Okay? I was like, this body turns olive quick, boo.
God, I wish I had that problem.
Well, I do too. So I came home and I was looking like freaking Barney the purple dinosaur. I wasn't even red. I was purple. I got so red that when they put sunscreen on my body, I turned purple. And the dudes that we were with, the guys that I met for the first time, her friends, like, because we had, girls and guys, because all of her friends were married at the time. And they all had husbands. And they were like, bro, stop calling yourself Barney. I look like Barney the freaking dinosaur, dude.
Oh my God. Well, purple, baby, LSU. There you go, man. You will get sick 10 times more than you used to with kids.
No doubt.
Kristen, obviously getting marriage advice. It's her and her fiance, Adam. She was the one, Bubs, that got engaged and came to the PHL meeting.
Oh, that's right.
Kristen and Adam right there. Don't let things change just because you get married. That's good right there from Chance.
We won't.
There he is. He's a girl dad as well. Look at that. Who dat hat right there. LGZ also here for the advice. He is getting married. Not this April,
good.
but the next. And look, ironically, we have 69 viewers in here. Foreshadowing.
Shut up, Carter.
That is some Christopher Nolan level foreshadowing.
Carter, I can't believe I just heard you say that. I don't even think I've ever heard you say a curse word, much less make a
You can
sexual
believe it.
reference.
You can believe it.
I keep it clean.
I've heard him
I
say
keep it clean on here to make it family friendly. But
Did you know that YouTube gives you 10 curse words
it gives you 10?
before you have to hit the explicit? So I hit 9 every night, just like Joe.
I know you do, Blake. I sure know you do.
You hit Joey B right there.
Oh, man. The other night, man, I got so worked up. I got so freaking worked up about something stupid and irrelevant. And I was dropping every F word in the book. I was calling people butanas. And if you're not Italian, look up in the Google dictionary what
I know what
butana
it
means.
is.
A butana, get a yay.
A butana. Yeah,
A
I got you.
butana.
I got you.
Okay, my grandma came out in me, Carter.
Why?
Because I was calling people butanas. I mean, I don't think people know, but in the Italian, you want to hear a funny story?
Let's hear it. Go on ahead.
All
I'm
right.
fixing out.
No, hold on. You got to listen to this.
Oh, okay, Blake.
Gotta
I got
listen to
you,
this.
boo.
Gotta
I got
listen to this. Okay. Make it very quick. I've never really told anybody this. Pause.
you. Oh,
I've
Jesus.
never told like viewers what I used to do or anything, but if they know me, they know. So Carter knows this. My life has been in law enforcement or was in law enforcement for a long time before this all started. I was in a street crimes unit, and basically we just kind of did any kind of crimes. Basically, just like if you see something, try to make your street safer. Help the granny cross the street, whatever. There was 2 guys and 2 girls that stole like $4,000 worth of inventory from a Dollar General, and they pulled out, and we're right behind them. Okay, so we light them up. They pull into a Dollar General. Okay, another Dollar General. Believe it or not, it was like a Save a Lot, whatever.
Okay.
So they get out, we put them all in handcuffs, whatever. They got $4,000 worth of materials in the back of their truck. Okay. They're like, all right, we don't want to press charges, whatever. In the time frame, my Italian grandmother was in that parking lot that they pulled in and saw me at work. She pulls up in a Lincoln Navigator, rolls the windows down, and both of the girls that we had detained at the time knew my grandmother, and she was cursing me out if I didn't let them go, calling them. She said, now you butanas.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, my God.
You got to have my grandson over here arresting you butanas. And so every time I hear the word butana, I just remember my 4'11" grandmother getting out of the Lincoln Navigator, telling 2 girls that were about to go to jail, you butana number 1 and you butana number 2.
No.
Yeah, she called them butana number 1 and butana number 2.
I love it.
So, long story short, this girl opens up a restaurant. It got closed down because she was doing stupid stuff. She made a sandwich, an Italian meatball sandwich, and on the menu was called butana. And somebody had to tell her what butana actually meant.
I love it. That's great.
True
That's a great
story.
So, but you let him go.
No.
No, he didn't let him go. No, he didn't let him go.
No, we didn't. That was such a long time
I thought
ago.
it was gonna have like
No.
but they were inspired to start a restaurant.
I guess, but like they sold $4,000 worth of inventory.
What was the stuff that they stole though?
So this is no lie. They
Oh,
literally stole a trash bag worth of Pop-Tarts.
Shut
Okay,
your
that
mouth,
was
Blake.
what I swear to God, it was in one of the bags.
Of what?
They stole
Pop-Tarts.
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 They had a small little cooler full of ham and turkey and cheese.
They were hungry.
No. That was just the food. They were stealing like all kinds of like office supplies and like all this kind of stuff. She stole like a whole binders full of paper and stuff. Oh, and by the way, I guess she thought her husband stank because she had like a garbage full of like Old Spice.
Let's
Oh,
go.
he was smelly.
Yeah, he was smelly. I swear to God, Carl. So listen, it was the ham and cheese that did me in. It was the ham and cheese that did me in. when they pulled out and you know what's crazy? They had like 4 or 5 loaves worth of bunny bread, white bunny bread.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
But maybe they was hungry too.
No, listen, that Bhutan was over
The
400
Bhutan.
pounds. Okay, she could go like 6 or 7 months without a meal, and she'd be fine. She looked like a damn hungry hippo. I mean, like, legitimately, and I'm telling you, and her sister might have been 100 pounds. Might have been 100 pounds. She was like 6 foot, like 300 pounds. I mean, this was a big girl. I'm talking about like big girl. And I mean,
so like a 3 tech, like a perfect size.
Oh, she was Glenn Dorsey, bud.
Yes,
she was
good.
Glenn Dorsey.
A good 3.
Okay, she was big, and then her sister was like 90 something pounds, a little.
I love that. I love that. That is such a
and somebody said, we know what sister had her food stolen all the time.
Oh my God. This has turned into a Charles Barkley
Here
chat.
she goes. Watch her.
Oh my God. All right. Oh my God.
Carter,
Right,
you know that
y'all have fun without me.
Okay. Well, we'll see you Saturday.
Are you coming?
That's what she said.
Why would you ask another man that in front of my presence? You should be asking that to me, not him.
Fabre?
Is that what they call you, Fabre?
No, my girlfriend Michelle calls him Fabre.
It's my middle name.
I know.
And it's Fob. But are you guys going to attend the festivities?
There won't be guys. It's just gonna be me.
Okay. Are you for real driving up? I will die if you drive up here.
Well, why don't you just have to wait and see?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll
you'll
see.
leave me in
By
suspense.
the way, I've been in 3 weddings in 3
I
weeks.
know. We heard this last night. I know.
Well, Carter called me. I didn't call y'all to tell y'all about it. I mean, hell, shoot. That's 3.
Well,
it's fine. It's fine.
Nobody loves boudin balls more than Blake, so I got to make
Hey,
sure.
we got 200
I
coming,
will
baby.
tell you, but it's like a 4.5 hour drive, right, Carter? It's not that far.
I will give you the coordinates to my private plane to get you here.
Oh, okay.
If I get a $100,
first off, let me tell you something. I will give you $1,000 cash money on the money dance if you get a private plane to come pick my big ass up.
We can make it happen. Okay, I'm out.
Send your daddy with one of the ducks to come pick me up. We're gonna do the flying V.
Your bitch ass better be here.
we got a bunch of Billy's boudin coming in hot.
Right, I think Carter, that was one of the best. Are you saying she's fat? The Hackback Network. No,
those were not his words.
I never said that. See?
Just if someone steals it, but I mean, if somebody steals a trunk full of strawberry toaster strudels, then it happens. Whatever
Carter,
happens,
this is easily our best segment of all time. This is easily our best segment of all time.
It's not. No. It's not. It's not. Maybe on here, but Lemony Twang will always be number 1.
Oh God, that's true. But I so forgot about Lemony Twang.
I was at the SEC championship game, and somebody yelled out Lemony Twang.
It was the week after, remember? Because you were staying at her house or something.
No, I was at the SEC championship game and somebody yelled Lemony Twang at me. Or it was somewhere. It was somewhere that somebody yelled Lemony Twang at me. I don't even remember the date. It was all such a blur.
It was December the 2nd.
So was it December the 2nd?
That was the game. That was the day the game was played on.
I remember somebody yelling Lemony Twang at me. It might not have been
great.
It might not have been SEC championship game. You know who it was? It was well, he might have just yelled something about Blake. It was our guy, the meme god, T. Craig Schilling.
Okay, yeah.
It might not have been Lemony Twang. It might have been something else. But when I saw what
in reference to me and you,
Yes, it was something.
Right.
He said something funny and it made me start laughing. And he started walking towards me because, you know, his profile photo isn't him. Right. So I didn't know what he looked like. I was like, it was some kind
Taller
of
guy, kind of grayish, brownish hair,
Yeah,
kind
he
of
was
salt
old.
and pepper hair. Right.
Yeah. And he was awesome. Like, he's truly one of the
Craig's
funniest guys.
amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, can I tell you about? So I think I've told you this, Carter, since we're kind of down a little bit of the rabbit hole. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I tell everybody my first experience or my last experience about going to an LSU football or baseball game as a fan?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I go to, so you and Carter knows this, and this is just to the listeners, I guess. We gotta clip this up. This stuff's funny. I go with Ryan Williams, one of our sponsors, one of my really good friends.
Yeah, I know, Ardo.
We go to the Southern Miss game. Normally, if I go to something LSU related, I go as, credentialed media, whatever. So, long story short, Carter, I'm walking in as a fan, just as a normal dude. Like I walk, me, like I go anywhere. And I'm walking up to my seat, and this guy, I don't even know who he is. I have no clue, never met him. And literally, we walk through the gate. And the dude grabs me from behind. And granted, there's 2,000 LSU fans there. And he goes, "Ruffino, you're so full of S word. But I got to tell you, I love it when you yell at those MFers." And I'm like, "Thanks, man. I don't know who it is." So then we're walking to our seat. And because I said LSU was going to lose to Southern Miss in their game one against each other, bro, I got booed. I got booed. And then one drunk, fat LSU fan literally stood up and said, "Yeah, Ruffino thinks we're losing tonight." And he was on my ass the whole night. I think Dylan Cruz hit a home run in the deep center field. LSU took the lead 1-0, whatever it was. And he's all up in my shit. He's just like, "Yeah, Ruffino, you like that. You like that." And I'm looking at Ryan and I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I do like that." I do like that we're beating Southern Miss. The funniest stuff. And that is why, and that was not even the tip. That's just a tip. That's just the stuff I could say on this show. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And Carter, that's why I just try to stay low profile and not do anything. Because every time I do something, it's just like, man. Anyway. This is great. Josh Forbes says this is great. It is great, Carter.
It's mid. I think we could go to another level. I think we could take this to another level. I think we can. Let's keep going.
I gotta be honest. This really hurt. That really hurt my feelings.
It's been fun. I'm having a great time.
Okay.
I'm not as excited about getting married as I am excited about Billy's Boudin being at my wedding. Like, I'm just so freaking.
Oh, dude.
The crawfish balls are so much better than the regular Boudin balls. Like, it ruins the regular Boudin balls how much better the crawfish Boudin balls are than the regular Boudin balls.
I think they're all good, dude.
Yeah, but it is all immaculate. And the lady was just so sweet on the phone to me. Oh my goodness gracious, it was great.
Wow, what did she say?
Well, so my closest family member is Little Minnie Twang, TT, right? My closest family member. She can't come to the wedding because she got sick. So
no, she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. She's just sick. So she is my closest family member, one of my best friends. So so she was supposed to pick him up like today.
Oh no.
Yeah, so now we had to like reschedule everything because I'm sending everybody home, not doing anything unless those Boudin balls get here. That's the bottom line. I love Billy's that freaking much. It is that epic. I do think.
Well, I will tell you, I didn't even eat at my wedding.
Really? Everyone says that to me. That it goes.
Yeah, you won't, buddy. I'm just gonna tell you, like if you have 100 to 200, as many people as y'all about to have in that thing, buddy, you're not gonna get a chance to eat. I'm just gonna tell you. Now you might be able to walk away and get something, but as soon as you start walking somewhere, somebody's going to come up and start talking to you.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't eat. I couldn't even eat lunch. I was so nervous. Okay, and by the end of the night, Carter, can you pull up? I just sent you something in Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Pull it up, bring it up on the screen.
Facebook Messenger.
Hey, and you want to hear something crazy? That's probably why I got so drunk at my wedding. It's because I ate breakfast that morning. I ate a deluxe breakfast from McDonald's with the hash brown, and I could barely eat lunch. Like I ate half of a quesadilla. Don't do that, Carter.
So do you want me to share?
Yeah, share this. And let me tell you, I was so drunk. I'm about to share something really humiliating to myself.
Okay.
All right, put the sound on loud. I'm singing Remix to Ignition.
That is what is R. Kelly?
I'm singing an R. Kelly song, and by the way,
but when has R. Kelly ever said, oh,
I don't know, but that's how drunk I was.
Oh man. Who you should we do one more roll on this? Of course.
Sure. And you see my wife turn right around and she smacks me right in the chest. Wait, watch till the end. Megan's gonna turn around. She thinks it's funny now. Everybody's in the back laughing. She's gonna turn around. She's gonna smack me right there. You saw the hand come up. She smacks me right in my chest.
Who is this girl point blank dancing right in front of you?
Oh, that's her twin sister Heidi.
She's into it.
Oh, she's getting down.
I love it.
Yeah.
Creek, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that.
Oh, look at that little puppy.
I love it.
Awesome, man.
So here's a little inside joke on one of my live streams. There was one person. We're giving out pearls, right? We get with our partner Pressy collection, okay, and some random account named Gina. It wasn't like a porn bot or anything like that. She randomly said, "Carter, will you put these on me?" And I was like, she had a profile and everything, and I said no, and she did not comment again after that. So if it was actually a bot, it would have commented again or posted a link or something like that. Right. So I think there was somebody's burner account. And
Gina, I'm assuming was her name.
Yeah. Her name was Gina, and she had a realistic profile photo and everything, and she never commented again. And the only time she commented was that one time, right when I did the read, right when I was doing the contest. So someone had a burner account set up. We'll never know who Gina is. I just said no, and it moved on. I wish I still had the photo. I'd have to go back to the live stream and find if somebody wants to do
you need to go back and like post that on Twitter. I want to see that.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a non-hot girl named Gina? Gina is like 12 for 10, right? Like,
you ever met a Roxanne before?
Put on a red light, man. Roxanne's undefeated. Rexanne's no.
I've never heard of it.
Roxanne's undefeated. Undefeated. Right.
Roxanne.
Put on a red light.
Just don't do any drugs, Carter. Don't do any narcotics on the day of your wedding.
I have never done that. I've never smoked weed. I've never done a drug. I've only been high once, and that was last year in Vegas. But I've never done a drug. Not I'm definitely not an angelic kid by any stretch of the imagination. I've just never really had the desire to like do a bump or anything like that. It's just
Bump.
body goes.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't either. I just, when I was a younger youth, before my day, I would, but who does it?
I mean, look, I'm all for it. Like you do you. But yeah, I'm a lightweight though. I'm a lightweight though. I never get like trash, but
my God.
What happened?
Look in your comments.
I can't see anything. Why can't I see anything?
Gina.
There she is. She's back. Oh my goodness. Look at I told you. It's dude, this is crazy. I don't know. I
read her name out loud first and last.
Gina
vagina. Dude, 1000% a bot account, like somebody's fake.
But
account.
why? How could the bot just be created that quickly? Like, I don't even remember the exact live stream. Gina is a real person, unless it's a burner. Unless it's somebody's
burner, bro. It's a burner.
So now we gotta try and figure out who this burner account is. I would guess it would be. We got to get to the bottom of this. Somebody.
Oh, here she is, Bo Vagina in the house. Gina Bo Vagina.
And what did I tell you? This looks kind of like a real-ish kind of pick, or do you think this is kind of a body pick?
Oh no, it's 1000% a burner pick.
Yeah.
It's 1000% a dude. 1000%.
1000%. It's
1000%. Gotta be a dude. I don't think family. Ladies in the chat, ladies, do y'all have burner accounts? Like guys talk about burner accounts all the time. Do you guys have burner accounts, ladies?
I would look.
That's such a dude thing, man.
I'm telling you, for someone to find the photo that quickly, then change the name. That is the exact photo. To someone to find it that quickly, and then I think Gina's real. If 20 minutes, 20 minutes from now.
By the way, it's not Gina.
Oh, it's that other thing I don't know a whole lot about.
It's Gina.
Yeah, I know. Is it?
Hey, Mr. Source. I did. Can I call you right back? I just saw you call, and I didn't want to keep ignoring your phone call. All right, I'm going to call you right back. It might be a little later, but I'll call you right back. All right, thanks.
Okay, Shefty with the scoop.
Sourcing. I got something for you.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
LSU's going to go after another center during spring.
Okay. So Ja'Kai Clark, the page is turned.
No, but if they don't get him, they're going to go after another one after spring. That's what you know who that is. But I mean, so there you go.
Good.
Why do we have 69 viewers when Gina shows up?
In the off season, I always float around 69. I do.
Is that your favorite number of viewers to have?
Well, you know what's funny? So I am a college basketball PA announcer, and every time the team hits 69, I give a good nice. And the student section goes crazy. Give a good nice.
Oh, my God.
I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, man.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
I wonder if it's Van. Do you think Van is the one creating the burner account?
Honestly, it would not shock me.
Gina
Van.
vagina?
I would not shock me if Van is Gina. Actually, Van is Gina. That would actually make sense. That would make sense.
Van Gina.
Yes.
Oh,
that would actually make sense for the joke, right?
It would.
Van's one of the funniest people I know.
Did Van make a burner account?
I think so.
There she is. That last message was from a troll. Love you, Carter and Blake. Don't know how that person got my pick.
So it's a different gene. It's different from
the same person. They just took the last name off, Carter.
But look, the photo is more zoomed in.
No, it's not. Go up to the original one.
Yes, because remember the original one was Gina Bovina. Van, you get to pick the next topic. Go right on ahead. Every time Van and I get together, we always get in trouble. So, let's see where is it? There you go. So you see, this is Gina.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Click the oldest one. Yeah, you're right.
It's a little zoomed in. This is so. You know what the craziest troll account? And Van, whatever topic you want to get to, we'll go straight to it. Okay. Van's one of my BFFs.
I think they're having I think they're having too good of a time of us just sitting here talking.
Yeah, it could be. So here's it is amazing like how deep people will do for burner accounts, right? Like the craziest one was that Micah Baskerville had a very serious burner account. Do you remember that?
Yes,
dude, and it would fool everybody, and the photos were so particular that if you looked at it immediately, you would be like, hey, there is no freaking way that Micah Baskerville has a burner account. And it was a bunch of his personal photos.
You know who else had one too? Was BJ Ojolari.
That one makes a little bit more sense though, because he's like a first round pick, but that's still crazy.
No, they had the same amount of followers. BJ, if you
really,
yeah, BJ. Hold on. Oh, I can't share on this one. I don't think. BJ, maybe I can. I don't know. I don't know if it gives me that option.
I might have to.
Oh, no, it lets me share screen.
All right, go ahead.
Hold on. Let me show you this.
Go ahead. That is so crazy to me.
All right, so I'm about to share my screen right quick. Hold on.
All right, do I have to click anything? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. So look, so this is the real BJ Ojolari.
Okay, there we go.
This is the real BJ Ojolari, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, this one had BJ _09 or 09. The other one had Ojolari 09.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Ojolari _09. They had the same picture. They had the Nigerian flag that's behind Ojolari. It was Carter, it was so wild. So me and BJ Ojolari, quick story. Me and BJ, when I did that one-on-one interview with BJ Ojolari, I was sitting there, I was like, bro, like, because I had to text him to get him to come on the show, right? So we're just texting back and forth, and I called him. And so when we're doing the interview, I was like, BJ, dude, I DM'd you like 17 times the link so we didn't have to do this in person. Okay. He was like, what? I was following the wrong BJ Ojolari. Okay. And I was sending him the wrong ones. So he goes, no, I'm this one. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
BJ Ojolari.
When he came on our show twice. Yeah. During the off season, he came on our show twice. And I sent the first one to the one that wasn't supposed to be. Okay. And he like texted me during the show and was like, "Hey, are you gonna send me a link?" I'm just like, what? It's so wild, dude. So wild.
The links. My thing is, all right, best restaurant in Baton Rouge. Everybody get your comments in. My thing is this, okay? What is the end game? The people that
don't
do
know.
I
don't know.
it's got to be kids. It's got to be kids that just don't have anything better
Gotta
to do.
be.
Like, I mean, I just can't rationally see adults that do this, right? And to this day, the one documentary I think about more than anything else is the Manti Te'o documentary from this offseason.
It was so good.
It was so good. The
It was
only
so
thing that I would have liked for that documentary to have, okay, and
Was
I'd be
Brian
interested,
Kelly?
was Brian Kelly. I think
Thought about that. I want. Why do you think Brian Kelly wasn't on that documentary?
they had it is irresponsible for the documentarians to not reach out to Brian Kelly, or at least his agent or representatives, to not get his thoughts on it. If they didn't reach out,
Well, I wonder, Card, because you know that was filmed. So I found this out. That documentary is actually filmed when Brian Kelly was the head coach at Notre Dame.
okay, so it was probably that. It was probably that, since he was currently still at Notre Dame.
Well, no. What I think happened? What I think happened is when he left Notre Dame told Netflix to get all the Brian Kelly stuff off of the Manti Te'o. I really do believe that.
Might be, but
and like, here's a question, and we've missed our window on this. How did nobody ask Brian Kelly about the Manti Te'o documentary?
nobody did. I called you that.
Yeah,
I called you that week up. I was like, I want to know his thoughts on this, because
how do I ask him that now?
Yeah, because it's past the window, right?
Like, I feel like I'm gonna go in the show tomorrow. I'm gonna clip this and put it on Twitter. So when the next time I see Brian Kelly and I ask him that question, and there was like, why is Blake asking this question? So everybody has a reference.
Yeah,
like,
say it was me. Say it was me. I want to know. I want to know Brian Kelly.
And you know what's the crazy thing about this is I don't know if how he would respond to that. Okay. But I don't mean it in a derogatory way towards him, because it was never his fault. None of that was ever his fault. And you remember how crazy it was? Like, people were blaming him for like, how did he not know? And
right. There's no way. There's no way.
How would he know?
The level of how well Ronaya
spoke like a girl.
Yes, that stuff it's insane.
Carter, the biggest freak out of all time, the biggest freak out is when they got that girl to take that picture with the day and time.
Yes. When I saw that, I had the biggest chill down my spine. I was like, there's no way.
That girl had to be involved.
That's why she's never come forward. She will not come forward. She did one interview and moved on. She said that she was just young and gullible, and she took the other one and the kid, and she believed him, saying, hey, there's a sick kid and you give him inspiration, so hold this random sequence of numbers or the date or whatever it was. That to this day. But go watch the documentary if you haven't already.
I kind of want to go back and watch it again.
It's that good. I mean, I thought it was excellent.
I did too.
And I am not always very defensive, and Manti Te'o still deserves quite a bit of the blame here, but it makes you more sympathetic to his situation, right? The cultural levels of, him coming from where
he was telling the girl that he loved her. But you know what's crazy though, Carter? He was like 19, 20, 21.
And catfishing wasn't a thing. That's the thing people don't.
Yeah,
like, no one knew what that.
But he was telling the girl he loved her. I mean,
loved her, and then it's just crazy. But I've talked to Van about this quite a bit. Not so much with you, Blake, but I think about a lot of college football stories that,
like what?
Like just random ones that we never really know the full story because number one, it's kind of cool now because like athletes have more of a voice to just say whatever they want now. But back then, the one thing that
You're talking about like not now, but back when like stories were reported like in the 90s and the early 2000s when like social media wasn't a big thing.
Yes. So yeah, like so Haley's grandfather was an AD, and he told me a lot of stuff that like I won't repeat here, but it was like, wait, that really happened? He was like, yeah, but like people like the media wasn't as fast then, and college football is like these huge operations, and there's a lot of stories
that's kind of wild that you bring that up.
Yeah, think about
it. Could you imagine when Michael Jordan retired from basketball the first time, and like all the conspiracy theories do you know of the biggest Michael Jordan conspiracy theory?
Oh yeah, the gambling stuff and
well, it goes deeper than that.
Okay, let's hear it.
They talk about when his dad died, right?
Right.
You do know that his dad was like murdered.
Yes.
Okay. Allegedly, he owed some bad men a lot of money, and they whacked his daddy over it. And the NBA was investigating it to see what was going on, and then they let him back into the league after they figured out whatever. And that's why he went to baseball. Carter, that is the wildest story, because if you really dig into that part about Michael Jordan, they literally talk about how they were investigating Michael behind a lot of it.
Yeah. That
conspiracy theory is crazy, man.
Yeah, so $7 Productions actually, I forgot the name of the podcaster. He did a very deep episode on this, and he came to the conclusion that it wasn't that, but there is a bunch.
Can you send me that?
Yeah, I'll send you the. So he actually interviewed the inmates, like the guys in prison. There's another conspiracy that they got the wrong people, though, to your thing. I listened to a really good podcast on that. We do have a very special guest, and I believe he is someone that could help us with Van's Super Chat question. It's none other
Pooh Bear?
Pooh Bear from the Golden Boo podcast. What's up, Pooh Bear?
How about that?
Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing on this fine evening?
World class, man. How about that? Blake, did you know
people believe Pooh? Go ahead, Carter.
Did you know Pooh Bear was coming on?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, when you were like special guest, and then I saw the comment, the Carter, and I knew that it was an ant right away. That's how, like Pooh Bear spells stuff out at our shows. So I'm like, oh, wait, that's Pooh.
All right, PB, best restaurant in Baton Rouge is what?
Oh, I don't know. Mike Anderson's. I've been there. I've been to I've been to all the kind of cliche places. There was one place that I went to. It was a little off the beaten path. I think it was near Southern, maybe. There was a screen door on this place.
Blue Stove.
And I don't think it was Blue Stove. It had shrimp burgers. Was that Blue Stove?
Raoul's.
Okay.
It was Raoul's.
Oh no, it might be Raoul's.
Raoul's with the shrimp burgers.
Yeah, so that was pretty good.
Hey, Raoul's is pretty freaking good. That catfish po' boy, you can't beat that catfish po' boy, Carter.
I will say
I'm gonna say Ruffino's though, in all bias.
Really?
No.
I've never had Ruffino's. I've never.
Actually, it's pretty fucking good.
I've never had.
It is pretty good. Best in Baton Rouge. I think it just depends on what you like, really.
That doesn't answer.
But I could go to a steakhouse every weekend if it wasn't so damn expensive.
I've heard a few reference to Stabs.
Stabs is really good. So here's the truth. If me and Megan are going out to eat, like eat, and I'm talking about like good, I'm going to Pirates. Without a question.
Really?
Yeah, without question. Not even close.
I haven't had it in forever.
Dog, they got this gold-plated fried flounder. Son,
I do want to say, I keep hearing Smoke Bayou. That's somewhere else.
They're definitely the best barbecue.
Okay.
Oh,
so
barbecue.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
come
definitely
on.
the best barbecue. But in reference to like restaurants, Pooh, I can't go
Okay.
there. I can't go there.
This is a great college student response right here.
Louis, yeah,
He's a
Louis.
fire. That's
Macaretta.
that a Rico. What's up, Rico? Doe's
I
Eat
know, Rico
Place.
hates me. Rico hates me. He said something earlier. We had to block him. Remember that?
Leh.
Pooh?
yeah, Rico. Yeah, Rico was a little animated.
He was.
Jared, thank you for the super chat. You get to pick the next topic. I eat chimes all the time in Baton Rouge. I love the
I
location.
don't like chimes, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I think it stinks.
Carter, I don't want to hijack your show, but I did hear your conversation about Michael Jordan and the
Okay, go ahead.
conspiracy.
All right, what do you think? Do you think there's a conspiracy?
I did hear the conspiracy about his dad being killed because of his gambling. I don't think his dad was killed necessarily killed because of his gambling, but I do think he was suspended that year. He played baseball. That's why he sat out that time. He definitely was suspended for gambling.
Pooh, I agree. But I just think the dad thing's just so coincidental. You know what I mean? Like, it's why people are going to question if there's any merit to it, because he retires right after, like 2 weeks after or something like that.
Another thing that happened around the same time, and I could be a year or two off, Bill Cosby's son was also killed. It's kind of similar thing. He was like in a car on the side of the road, sleep or something, and was killed.
Pops.
I don't know if that was. I mean,
I don't. I was getting pudding pops.
Oh, gee,
Goodness gracious. Not the pudding pops. I never heard the Cosby one. I heard the craziest one is Paul Walker. I mean,
Ant. Look at Ant.
That's good.
Look at Ant. No. The one above that. He got his dad killed, and I don't care what anybody says.
Michael, oh come on. I mean,
I'm telling you, Carter. I've
listened to 2 deep dive investigations into this.
If Ant Marshall says it happened in the NBA, by God, it happened in the NBA.
You just believe him because he's wearing a suit.
I believe him because never mind. The man can't come on here and defend himself. So I was going to crack a joke, but I can't do it to my man.
Okay, so this is true. Cajun turkey from AM Mart is fire.
It is good, but
no. I will say this. Shout out to Coach Polian. When he got to Baton Rouge, he went straight there to get the Cajun turkey, and
it is good, but it's not like the best restaurant though.
Oh, it's not. I wouldn't say that, but bang for your buck. Let's go. Cajun turkey.
Ruth Chris is really good though.
That's where my dad and I go there all the time.
Ruth Chris is really good.
Ruth Chris. That's like franchise. I mean, I'm not saying it's not good, but it's franchise.
I know, yeah. but Pooh, it's good though.
Here's the thing about a
it's
franchise.
Not the best steak.
Yeah, you know what you're getting.
Best steak is
buddies
and Hammond.
Oh, Hammond.
I'm telling you, Carter.
The question was in Baton Rouge, not
Hammond. I know. Pooh, we're going there for our next meeting. Ruth's, Fleming, Fleming's.
Fleming's, okay. I'm gonna get flamed for this, but I am a Pluckers diehard. I get down.
Pluckers.
I get with
Pluckers is the worst wing in Baton Rouge.
Blasphemy.
No, it's the worst wing in Baton Rouge.
But the best chain restaurant in Louisiana. Okay.
Raising Cane's.
Is anybody sponsored by? Never mind. I got in trouble last time I
love
started talking
Cane's.
about.
I get Cane's all the time. All right. Very, very solid chain. But the best chain restaurant in Louisiana is Rotolo's. Easy.
Buddy, they're closing down.
All of them?
Almost. Yep.
Thank you, Aunt. I'm not. I went.
No. Stop.
Yes. Yeah, they are. You got. I think you might have one in Baton Rouge, and you got one in New Orleans.
There's one in.
For now.
Oh no! Don't do this to me.
Yeah.
On the week of quit this.
Okay, I'm lying. I'll tell you next week.
No, stop. Be for real right now.
See, Branson said that they closed the one in Baton Rouge.
Pooh Bear, what do you think?
I've never had Rotolo's.
Oh my God! Please.
But let me tell you this: Raising Cane's.
Oh, go ahead.
Raising Cane's has the worst aftertaste. I don't know what they do to that chicken. It is awful. You eat it and it's like, oh man, this is good.
It does have a stench after you're done.
Yeah, it's like,
it's
like licking a battery.
It's like like if you walk up next to someone and they just ate at a specific place, like that somebody just ate Raising Cane's. You can smell it on them. You know what the other one is really bad? Subway. Subway be stanking.
Subway hadn't been the same since Jared went down.
I agree. Hey, name that sandwich. Name the sandwich, Pooh. I'm not trying to be. Carter, can you name the sandwich?
I have no idea what you're referencing at all.
Sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
What's wrong with the sweet honey chicken teriyaki?
That was a sub, man.
Oh, did they didn't discontinue it though?
No, they still got it. They still have it.
No, it was
I see it festate. I see the sweet onion festation there. Yeah. But I'll take Subway over a few other chains. Like I had Jersey Mike's once, and I didn't understand.
I like Jersey Mike's more than I do.
I love Jersey Mike's.
Yes.
I don't. It's just expensive. It's almost like
Jersey Mike's is expensive.
It's almost like going to Jersey to get the sub yourself.
But the best restaurant is chicken. I love it, man.
That damn Burger King commercial,
dude. It is fire. It works. But when I was watching Joe Burrow destroy Josh Allen, midway through the first quarter, Haley went and got a Burger King. I love the BK commercial.
Well, man, if people are talking about it, I mean, you can't get on TikTok or Instagram Reels.
Fire.
Get on Instagram Reels. Everybody's a burger. Firehouse is pretty dope.
Yeah,
Firehouse is pretty dope.
Y'all know my place of preference.
Where?
Whataburger.
I do like.
Oh, come on! It's not better than it's not better than In-N-Out though.
What? In-N-Out is trash.
Oh,
In-N-Out is so overrated.
This is your first ever appearance on this channel.
I apologize for telling you.
And you trash Animal Style.
It is. Listen, I had this guy tell me where I was out in Arizona for work, and this guy was like, "Hey man, let's go to In-N-Out." I was like, "Okay, I've heard lots of somebody say you got to get it Animal Style." I was like, "Okay, we get this food. First of all, you're not in and out. I was in there 30 minutes waiting on this food. We got it Animal Style, and we start eating because he was bragging about it, and he looks at me and he says, "I'm sorry, it's not how I remember it." And I said, "Thank you," because I was going to talk really bad about it. So,
all right, Pooh, you promise you won't laugh?
I'm not promising anything when it comes to laughing.
Okay. Y'all don't like Five Guys?
Oh, Five Guys is the joint. Listen, okay. I'm telling you how I renewed
And
my
as
love for
long as
Five
I'm
Guys.
not the only one. I'll go to if I want a like fast food burger, I'll go there over anywhere.
Let me tell you how I renewed my love for Five Guys. I took a Gramco one night. And I was like, I'm fiending for some paws. I'm fiending for some meat, and I was big paws. And so I was like, it's a Five Guys right across the street from the hotel. So I went ahead and was like, okay. So I ordered online. I mean, I was throwing stuff on there I don't normally eat. I was like, throw mushrooms on there, A1 sauce and barbecue sauce. It doesn't matter.
You were like a whole gummy in.
Yes, I was. Listen, that was they gave a small fry.
You were so a whole gummy in, man.
Yes, the small fries like a whole half a bag.
It's still like in a
yeah,
like in a what do you call, like a fountain cup.
yeah. So
Right.
I had the burger, the double burger. I had the small fry. I had a large drink, and I grabbed a bag full of peanuts and took them with me.
Oh,
Dude,
you might have been a gummy and a half in.
God,
and you just spent $57 with that.
Listen, I did not care.
It is expensive now.
Oh, man.
And I got a milkshake the next time I went. It was really good.
I like the I've actually never noticed this. The Martin, is that Martin art behind you?
Oh yeah, it's Martin, Will, and
Smith and Urkel.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. Whose show was better? Urkel, Will Smith, or Martin? If you could only watch one of their shows one more time, who would you watch?
I mean, obviously, I'm going to say Fresh Prince.
I'm leaning Fresh Prince.
Can I tell you something? Because there's more episodes, I might go Urkel.
I was reading my mind. Hey, speaking of that, have you seen the remake, the drama Bel Air? That's like the Fresh Prince, but drama.
No, I hadn't seen that. Where's it coming on?
It's on Peacock. It's called Bel Air. It's really good.
Is it good? Okay.
It is really good.
I'll say
I'll tell you this. I just know this from someone, friend of mine. They promoted that show heavily. Like they sent like rare Air Force Ones, like crazy stuff to a lot of people to really promote that show. So it actually is good. I like
it's really. I started watching it on as a matter of fact, the time I went to Arizona and had the Gramco and Five Guys. I was on a plane and it was on there, and the first 2 episodes, and when I watched it, it was so good. I ended up like buying Peacock just so I could watch the whole rest of the season.
nice. Okay, so it was that good. Okay.
Yeah, it was like that good. So
yeah.
Who was the better dad?
Uncle Phil all day.
Oh yeah, Uncle Phil's
Okay.
about. Yeah.
Y'all didn't like Mr. Winslow?
Oh, Carl Winslow was great. Uncle Phil was just the
Y'all
best.
see his new commercial?
Yes,
He plays
hilarious.
TV dad.
Hey, so here's a fun fact. Did you know that actually Family Matters is a spinoff of Die Hard, the first one? And what they did was they took, because he was the cop in Die
Mr.
Hard.
Winslow was a cop in Die Hard.
They took the same
I didn't know
name
that.
and everything and just made it a spinoff show because they thought it would make people comfortable.
And he wore the same uniform, that same blue top and the black pants.
Yeah. Listen, Myra was
Peace, Uncle Phil.
I actually watched the episode the other day. Myra's first episode, when she and Urkel first met. She was a beautiful person, like just inside and out. And that was like the first time I really had heard about, like as a young age, found out about cancer.
That's crazy.
Oh, she died of cancer? Wait.
Myra, Steve's
died
girlfriend.
From cancer, the real girl?
Yes.
When?
It was like 2 or 3 episodes. Not episodes, I'm sorry, 2 or 3 seasons. She may not have lasted that long, but she died like not long after being on that
Look
show.
on Blake's face.
Yeah.
No,
I asked because I know
I did not know that.
I asked about the artwork because I didn't watch much Martin. My roommate Terry Lake did. and that's all he watched. Like he didn't watch, and he was a really good athlete. He didn't watch sports. He just watched Martin on repeat all day, every day, obsessed. He could quote every episode of every show. And a few years ago, I met Carl Anthony Payne. He started doing some stand up, and I think I opened for him once. And he was such a nice guy, but it is amazing how many fans he had just from that show. Like how big. Like I felt like Fresh Prince was a more commercial success, obviously.
Correct.
Like a lot of people could sing the song, but I felt like Martin had more diehard fans. That
4 seasons.
Isn't it
Fresh Prince
crazy?
was only 4 seasons, and it was so. You know something? I'll say this too.
That's why I said Urkel or Family Matters, because there's really not that many episodes or seasons of Fresh Prince.
So one thing I loved at the time about like Fresh Prince and Martin, and shameless plug. I'm gonna do a shameless plug here. They used to wear a lot of HBCU sweaters.
Well, they went to an HBCU, did they not? In the show?
No. That was Cosby. So they went to Hillman. But even then, on the Cosby Show, back then they used to wear HBCU gear and stuff and bring like a lot of awareness and stuff. It was so great back then. Like TV was so wholesome and stuff back then.
Right.
And so it was awesome. But yeah, I mean, used to love that. And I say shameless plug. Tune into the Golden Boot. No, I'm sorry, not the Golden Boot. HBCU Hour. We're going to 2 shows a week now, Carter. Start talking more basketball. Man, we had to deep dive into that Ed Reed story, and that was like hooking.
Yeah, someone asked me about it on here. I was like, "Hey, this isn't the place to go."
Yeah, it was. So
I love it, man. Most of my family went to Howard, so
okay.
I get to see a lot.
Carter, I'm sorry we hijacked your show and hadn't talked anything about LSU.
No. So here's the funny thing, Carter. Most of my family went to Dillard.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I spent a lot. My uncle met his wife at Dillard. My oldest uncle talked the two younger uncles to coming there. They all pledged and stuff and went to Dillard, and that's where my uncle met his wife and stuff. And then
crazy.
Another uncle, he met one of his college friends, introduced him to his wife. So it's like all for Dillard. So I spent like most of my freshman year at Dillard. I mean,
that's world class. I didn't know that.
So
yeah, it's amazing. Like, so when I moved to DC and worked at Sirius for a little bit, it was just amazing. Like how many friends I made that went to Howard, and got to see where my family went to school. It was great. Yeah, that's cool. So check it out, HBCU Howard. So all good stuff. Marriage advice. Do you have any? You're a super dad.
Yeah. So I told you on Twitter. I sent it to you on Twitter. The best advice I could give is like nowadays, don't put your relationship on social media. And when I say, I'm not even talking about the whole I'm going through problem stuff. I mean like pictures and stuff, because you'll get more attention if you post a picture and you're by yourself. If you posted 1,000 pictures with your wife and you just post one picture by yourself, people will automatically start rumors.
Right.
They'll start problems and stuff. So yeah, definitely don't post your relationship on social media.
All right. So here's a few other ones I got on Twitter. Don't do anything in the first 6 months you aren't planning on doing forever. That's advice I've learned my second time around. I wish someone told me. Never let outsiders in.
Yep.
Continue to date your wife and open, clear communication always. My question for Mr. 205, look, he's in Omega Sci-Fi. Look at that. We're just talking about frats. Never let outsiders in. Is he talking about like friends and family, or
so that's advice my uncle gave my cousin at his wedding, like during the wedding. Basically, don't, like when you have like kind of when you're having problems, don't talk to outside people about it. As far as like, don't talk to, even like mom, dad, and stuff. Don't talk to them about problems, because they will remember that, and they may not say anything to your significant other, but they may look at her a little different, and and like visibly look at her different. So
I was thinking never let outsiders in. I was like, is he polygamous?
Yeah.
Also don't have a threesome. That's definitely going to be.
Or don't ask for one either.
I mean,
there's no stupid questions. I thought that was always
that is true.
It's the little things that ultimately make or break a union. The little things, from Literacy Lover 33.
Does she follow you?
No, I don't think so. No.
I don't know.
Ted says don't do it. Straight to the point. Straight to the point. Oh my goodness.
It is tough, man. It is tough. Marriage is tough, man.
One thing that a lot of people say, if you make it through your first 5 years, you'll make it forever.
Tom Brady begs to differ.
I mean, but how many of that 5 years was he actually there?
That's true. Yes, dear, that saying will be a lifesaver. I like that one.
Yeah, and they're not normal human beings either.
Not everyone could bear the same weight at times. Never keep count. Just keep it moving. Y'all feel
I think that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I think it's because, Carter, you start holding something, like, especially when you have kids, like, man, I just watched this baby all weekend. Like, can you give me a little bit of a break? Like, I need to unwind for a minute. Like, shut up. And then she's got to tell me that.
I mean, you're almost married now, Carter. But I was told you don't marry someone until you see three things. You see them when someone dies, you see them when someone is born, and you see them like when they cry or something like that. Yeah. But it was just like those are three things. Don't marry until then. So, also don't trust a woman if she won't fart in front of you. That was another one.
That's a good one. That's actually I actually like that one.
I mean, we just can't see Pooh Bear though. his whole face has been covered this whole time because
no, that's me right there. You don't see me in the yellow shirt. Oh, now look there.
Speaking of Jared,
oh God, don't do Jared.
Oh God, oh my goodness, Jared, thank you for the super chat. Just keep doing what you've been doing. Obviously Haley and I love each other. I just kind of like the topic. Maybe there's someone out there. Maybe Gina listening to this right now. Maybe she needs this advice to go find her significant other. Choose your battles and give each other grace. That's pretty straightforward. Oh, now this is interesting from Peter. Okay. Like he's got sunglasses on, so he means business. A marriage is also a business, a mini corporation unto itself. And no one ever tells you that, but the state recognizes that. So you and your spouse should too. It pays to be money smart. It pays to save your damn money as often as you breathe. Marriage is a business.
I never trust somebody that does a selfie with shades on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ever.
Oh, man.
Ever.
That's a good one from American Patriot. That's something I was always told too.
Always sell your differences before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone
that ain't gonna happen at our house.
Yeah. Do what? Yeah. So
that ain't gonna happen at our house.
Yeah. My first response to this was a former local news anchor named Claire. And she said, "You're not always going to be happy with each other before going to bed."
No.
So So do you disagree with American Patriot?
No. I think you should try. Go ahead, Blake.
I think you should try, but it ain't gonna. Like we've been mad at each other for a whole week one time, and just like not on the same thing, and then then you start thinking about it, and what you probably were arguing about is probably pretty stupid,
right?
And I mean, I mean, we fought over crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so and to what American Patriot and what Blake said, the try and stuff, we don't necessarily have to see eye to eye, but we need at least talk about it or try to talk about it, and you don't necessarily have to argue over the same thing twice.
Okay.
God bless, and ain't that the truth? That why you can argue about it more than once.
So I'm one of these people that do like to settle differences, but it is interesting that I've heard that they won't always necessarily be
no, and you won't, and you'll go the whole time not agreeing on something,
right?
Until one of you caves in.
Let's go to Doug Knows,
especially when it comes to a new car.
This Doug Knows, a big supporter of you, Blake, big supporter of me as well. When G gets mad at you, just smile and bite your tongue. Don't argue back. Drives them nuts when they get fired up. LOL.
I'm the opposite of that, though.
Hey, so one thing I've said, and I've said it to my wife before, is you either want to be right, and I've told, not necessarily with us. So say, you either want to be right or you want to save a relationship. You can't always do both.
I second this. If you don't, it's going to be a blur. Congrats. I mean, that's more wedding advice. Enjoy your wedding. Don't feel obligated to do anything. Congrats, man. Mike, one of my longtime buddies there.
To Jared, I got a story about Billy Gamilli. To Jared's point, no, I wasn't mad. I was mad about 30 minutes, but she was not. That's truth. And I was wrong. Very wrong. Carter, you want to hear something about Billy Gamilli? He used to work in the media.
Yeah.
Billy Gamilli covered Franklinton High School baseball. Did you know that?
I didn't.
So he became an LSU beat reporter, pretty successful LSU beat reporter.
Yeah.
But he started out at the Era Leader in Franklinton, Louisiana. We were undefeated or had lost a game, and we were playing the semifinal against Notre Dame. Okay. We had a guy that would go on to play college baseball, get one more throw in, and the guy that he was throwing with to warm up didn't realize it. And Billy Gamilli was walking behind them when they were warming up in right field. And a baseball hit Billy Gamilli on the side of the head, knocked him out. He fell on the ground.
Oh, my God.
And so we have a media member sitting on the right field line and Notre Dame Crowley.
That is nuts. I've known Billy a long time. One of the nicest guys, and we actually share. Yeah, we share a birthday. Advice: if you never respond, you'll never argue. If you don't ask, she can't say no.
Oh God!
And then a very hot take at the end.
Yeah,
Trey Hurley is too slow to be a productive SEC running back, in the words of Rico Delgado. I'm glad Ant's not on this train.
Oh, he's there. Ant's down there.
Yeah, but I'm just glad he's not.
Matter of fact, let me text him. Ant, Trey Hurley slander.
Well, yeah. So I'm glad he wasn't a guest on here. I will not.
Rico Delgado said that?
Yes. I'm not going to let Trey Hurley slander slide.
Is he that? Well, he's not fat. He's not that slow.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not a blazer. I mean, Trey will tell you.
I mean, he's not Caleb Jackson.
No, nobody. I think people don't quite understand how athletic Caleb Jackson is.
Yeah, Caleb Jackson. Listen,
is
I wouldn't be surprised.
Athlete.
I would not be surprised at all if Caleb Jackson was the number one back at the end of the season. It would not shock me in the slightest.
He is in my top 5 players, and Blake, you've known this for a while.
I know, Carter. He is so freaking good. You know, when there's so many freshman guys that we talk about, like can Shelton Sampson or Deshaun Womack or whoever come in, you know who we never talk about is Caleb freaking Jackson. Carter, he would have been a 5-star. He would have been a 5-star running back if he didn't get hurt. You know that.
No,
he was on pace for like 2,500 yards on 130 carries. Carter, you know that his average was something stupid like 30 yards a carry in the first 2 games or something stupid like that. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm a Caleb stan. Big time.
I mean,
I'm big time.
Dude,
yeah.
30 yards per carry in today's day and age.
He's crazy. No, I really do think it. I fully agree with that. But I will say this: Trey Holly gets to PHL. I think he's going to be fine. I do have a higher grade on Caleb, but I think the good thing is Trey does not have to play year one, so we'll know by year 2 if he is good.
He might not have been a 5-star, but you get what I'm saying,
right? No, Caleb can really play. He can really play. But thank you so much, Rico, for the super chat. So football speed is different than track speed. I do agree with that, but the issue here is Caleb Jackson is football fast. He's been clocked over 21 miles per hour.
Yeah, he's everything fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get over 21 miles per hour. It's hard. Like you've got to be moving. That means you're Jaden level fast.
And
Tiger,
and what's crazy is he's bigger than Jaden from a weight perspective.
Yeah, he's a unit. He's like,
and 6 inches shorter than Jaden.
Right. So he's a solid 205, 210. I think he's going to be really good. The profile fits.
He's over the 200-pound mark.
Yes. If you're over 200 pounds, historically, I've done a deep dive on this. If anybody wants to see it, I can go find it. I'll go get Gina to find it for you. Weight matters. How heavy you are does matter, right? And there is history behind if you're over 200 or 205, it changes drastically in the SEC, mostly, right? It is amazing when you look at the weight differences of backs in other conferences. They don't have to be as heavy as SEC backs because everybody's bigger, faster, and stronger. But yes, I'm still a Trey Holly believer as well.
It's some things you just can't teach, no matter your size.
Right. And Trey is special.
That's what she said.
Oh my God.
I got in trouble for saying that Saturday.
What? That's what she said?
Yeah.
I
got in trouble for saying it. It fit perfectly.
That's also what she
said.
What is it? It's not the size of the prize. It's the motion.
They can say that all they want to. Hey, did any of y'all watch The Office?
Yeah.
I was watching a thing today and I saw The Office and made me keep thinking about it. Oh, some guy had a ringtone, The Office ringtone. And every time somebody says false, every single time in my head, I got to say Black Bear. I can't stop.
Yeah. I almost stopped watching The Office. Episode 1, I was like, this is horrible. But episode 2, when it was what? Oh God, was it diversity training?
It was diversity training.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I was hooked.
Stanley. Am I saying that right? Stanley. Oh God, it's so good.
Postpone and prenup is some wedding advice here.
Yeah, so about that. Don't get your wife to. Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. No.
Keep folks out of your business.
The Diesel's got a good one.
I remember I introduced you to Diesel and y'all yelled at each other for 10 minutes. Unload the dish.
In a really awkward situation.
You said something about Appalachian State and small college group of 5 fans. If you say something about their school, they unleash fury.
Oh, he was so pissed.
He's so mad.
He was so pissed.
I wish I still had that segment. It was so great. Unload the dishwasher more often than she expects you to. Marriage is all about communication. Me and my wife have had great communication, but we've been more open with one another to help with whatsoever going on in our lives that it's made the relationship better. Don't freak over.
I will tell you, communication is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It probably is. It probably is, dude.
I've heard so much marriage advice. It was like just over the years, like from other friends getting married and stuff. And I was at church and a preacher said marriage is there's 3 things that break up a marriage. Lack of communication, lack of lack of communication, infidelity, and finances. And they all 3 kind of happen. It's like if you're not talking, you're not having sex. You're not having sex, you're gonna cheat. So it's like, oh.
And some of that stuff just so not true. Yeah. Like some of it.
Yeah.
But finances will always be a big thing.
Speaking of finances, I know a good place, and I mean a great place, where if you need something like what is it?
Hear this with a commercial?
What is it that you normally need when you're about to ask? What is it? When you're about to ask someone to get married, what is it that you have?
Jewelry place.
Yeah, you do, right? And I'm trying to think of the name of this. There you go. It is the Pressy Collection and thepressycollection.com. Look at you, Blake. You knew exactly. You know me, or I think you've caught PHL before. Pressy Collection, pressycollection.com. Good way to save money and at the same time get yourself a rock. Now, these were legitimate responses when Haley posted her engagement ring on social media. Congrats, beautiful ring. Congrats, love the ring. That rock is perf. Oh, when you get hit with the perf, it's juicy, baby. Pressy Collection, pressycollection.com. There it is.
God damn.
Look at that. Live from London, England.
Did you give her a key? You put her on a leash too.
I'm so happy.
You put her on a leash already? God, I'm
so happy you're laughing at this because this was the leash that was on the dog that is on your wrist right now, Blake. This was Booger's leash, and Boog passed away, as many of you know, and that was part of the surprise, me digging through all our stuff and finding her leash and bringing it all the way to London. Thank you so much. So you laughing over my dead dog's ashes. Thank you so much, Blake. Thanks for just ruining the mood right there. Good stuff. I mean, just good, just perfect, just absolutely perfect. And you love Boog more than any. You were one of the first people that got one of these bands, and you still wear it. You still wear it. You still wear it. You just.
I'm leaving. Then I'm not going to take this shit.
No, it is funny. Pressy Collection, pressycollection.com. Make sure you check it out. And we just gave this set away to Big Al's lovely wife. Check it out. Pressy Collection, pressycollection.com. Some people just want it all. I prefer 10K Trey, but to each his own. Ant loves him some Trey. I think Trey Holly's going to be a great SEC running back. I do.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I think Trey's going to be pretty good.
Trey Holly. So, I'm from Alabama, so I didn't know a lot about, a lot of the recruits until, they start really getting picked up. What I found fascinating about Trey, he broke the record and then a lot of people throw the caveat, well, he played in 8th grade. Even if he took away his 8th grade rushing yards, he still would have broke the record.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
If I'm not, because I think he had under 1,000 or just at 1,000. So
that's crazy that a kid can be in 8th grade and playing high school football.
It used to happen a lot more than that. Tim Castile that played with Alabama. He was playing the state championship game in 7th grade. Yeah,
that's insane.
At those private schools usually, or smaller schools usually let that happen. Yeah. So,
all right. So here's what we're gonna do in the next 5
Could you imagine only getting playing high school football and then getting to a state title your first year as a seventh grader and never getting back, like that would feel like you're in the NFL. Like, hey, I got a Super Bowl, and every year is just such a grind. Dude, you know how much that would teach kids? Like, that would really teach kids some stuff if you think about it. Like, damn, man, every day's a battle. All right, what are we going to do, Carter?
In the next 5 minutes, we'll answer as many questions as we possibly can. But if we super chat, these two young men might have to go, but I will hang out all night if you keep the super chats flowing. But if you have any rapid fire questions for either one of these,
I'm going to hop off in a minute.
Yeah, I am too. I have got some business to take care of. Business.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been doing a show since 6 o'clock and it's 10.
Well, I told you to take a break, get some dinner.
I forgot to do that.
Oh, I've got some Caribbean fish and rice. I'm about to go get. Oh,
y'all eat late? Y'all eat late meals?
I mean, since I got home, I've been on the podcast. So
you've been
Me
podding?
too.
Yeah. So
I walked through the door at 5:31 and I came in here.
All right. So in the next 5 minutes, I will answer as many questions, and they will, as long as they want to. That's a good question. What song was Stetson Bennett singing?
You didn't hear this? It was knock knock knocking on heaven's door.
Was he really playing that song while he was going?
I was singing it.
No. So apparently Stetson was going up. This is no bullshit. He was going up to people's doors, knocking on them and saying, knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. And then he would walk down. He would walk to the next door and do it again.
I love it.
And you know what's even more wilder about that, if you think about it? There's no way that he's by a bar. He's got to be in Dallas.
Yeah, it's suburban.
Be in a subdivision.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's there's residential apartments, but not like that. Like if you've ever been to Dallas, it's not like that.
I was just there.
Everybody's in a suburb. Like people don't live downtown.
I heard a very interesting take on Twitter.com. I've been thinking about this all day, honestly. I don't believe Stetson Bennett plays professional football.
Here we go.
Like, I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying an NFL team won't pick him up.
You just don't think he wants to?
I think there's a piece of him that doesn't want to.
I could see that.
I mean, I understand people drink and become idiots or whatever, but you're 25. You've ended on the highest of high notes a college football player can end on. And I mean, what sponsorship deal in Georgia? I mean, he could open car dealerships. He could do a lot of stuff. And I know obviously an NFL salary, he'd make a lot of money just even being a clipboard holder. But I don't know. I've thought about it more and more, and maybe Stetson says, look, I'm hanging it up. I have nothing else to prove.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing that.
It's just such a weird thing to do if you're 25 and you get that.
I don't think he'll do that.
I think he'll play NFL football too, but this story just feels very It feels different. I don't know exactly what it is.
It would feel different if Jim Nagy wouldn't have come out there and kind of trashed him a little.
Oh, did he really?
Look, let's call it what it is. Now, I love Jim to death. And Carter, you know that I've had long conversations with Jim. The bottom line, though, is Jim's kind of got his feelings hurt that Stetson Bennett didn't come to the Senior Bowl. And then when he backed out of it and Jim went after him and then he got arrested, it looked like, a much worse story than what it is.
I think that was a big mistake. I know Graham Coffey came on your show last night and said that, no, what does Stetson have to prove? Baker Mayfield had nothing to prove. Baker Mayfield's mother passed away the week of the Senior Bowl. He played one series. All they wanted to see was hey, will you be mature enough to do something for someone other than yourself? He showed up. That proved a lot to a lot of people, and he was drafted number 1. Not saying that's why he was drafted number 1, but I know a lot of his characteristic or character issues were brought into question. That was a big thing for him to play in that Senior Bowl, even just for that one series.
Yeah, I just don't buy that it's hurting him as bad, because there's nothing that he can do. There's nothing more, like before the arrest. Let's just talk about on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Is there literally anything that he can do?
Not that we know of. Well.
I mean, from just a football perspective. Now, I get Baker went, and that's a really damn good point. The only question that I would have is Baker didn't play in the national championship 2 weeks after that. So, I mean, like, he's literally coming off 2 weeks, and Baker would have had a month.
Yeah, I mean,
and who's, I don't even know if Stetson's got an agent. I wonder what his agent's telling him.
I honestly think, and look, I've been to Mobile plenty of times, and I freaking love the Senior Bowl, and I think a player should do it. But look,
it's
NFL,
a lot of them don't play. They just go to the Senior Bowl.
And what did because Joe DeLeon's down there, and Joe told us today, Carter, that they were going to talk to a Ohio State tackle. I forget the kid's name off the top of my head. And they're sitting there for 10 minutes. The kid had a really damn good day one. Joe said his agent told him to pack his stuff, and they were out of there.
Good.
Yeah, you know, so I do wonder sometimes, like, how much is an agent running the fact of saying, hey, Stetson, don't go?
I also think one thing is we're such a highlight-driven society. These pro days, people get so carried away with the pro days. We saw that get Zach Wilson drafted as high as he did. Kellen Mond's pro day was unbelievable, and they still get drafted. You know, they can't play. So, I mean, the pro day, you know, just carries so much.
I do want to, Jared points out a good point. He says the Senior Bowl is always rainy and cold. I had to skip it too. He says then he says, I live in Mobile and don't go. I used to be the same way. Jared, when you move away and haven't been in a while, you definitely want to go. It's I get it. You know, it is like very like uncomfortable.
Karen Howe on Twitter. Y'all need to back off of Stetson Bennett. His behavior is very typical of someone who grew up during Prohibition.
She's had
Adam B.
Oh my God, that's such a good joke. She's had so many great ones.
I just got to be honest. I just don't understand a lot of the Stetson Bennett hate.
He doesn't have a good story. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but we know stories sell. It sells, and he doesn't have a.
No, he's got a great story.
No, I mean, he's not.
He's a walk-on. Who brought Georgia their first national championship since 1980.
Yeah, I get it, but Stetson Bennett literally looks like a stereotypical frat boy, and a lot of people just don't care for it. I mean, I'm just
I'll say this.
We're talking about on the field.
Yes,
you can say that, but that does play a part in it.
I will say this: his age does turn a lot of people off, right?
Why?
Because he's 25 playing against
Brandon Whedon got drafted in the first round and was 26.
No, I thought he was 29
or 29, whatever he was.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I mean, but they didn't rag him like they're ragging Stetson.
Yeah, but Brandon Whedon.
It's always easier for the first guy.
Pick.
Brandon Whedon was a redhead. I mean,
So those are the angriest people.
Redheads.
Shout out to Jacob Davis.
I know. Shout out to Jacob Davis. But the truth here is a lot of people don't like Stetson Bennett's age. He's 25. And
probably brings up a good point too.
Story fatigue, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you're saying, Carter. It's a story fatigue, right?
And I think people are just ready to move on, right? And it's one thing. So, like last year, he was a darling because, he had just won Georgia the national championship and, he's a walk-on. His jersey number used to be 22. So that lets you know how big of a walk-on he was. Didn't have a quarterback number. But yeah, I mean, I like him. I don't know. I just find this story to be so fascinating.
I also don't think a lot of people don't like him because he thinks his skill up, although he is good and his skill level is where it is. I think a lot of people think he thinks he's better than he really is.
All right, so before we get out of here, Sean Payton to the Broncos.
Now I can see that. Now
okay,
I can see that.
Really quickly, I've been getting a lot of Saints questions. I'm LSU football mostly. Today was obviously
Payton, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Sean Payton to the Broncos. Your thoughts, Pooh Bear? Starting off with you.
On our show, we typically avoid the Saints like the plague. We don't talk about them because they've been depressing. No, I'm just kidding. I think that the Saints got as much as they could get for Payton at this time. They weren't going to get more.
Right.
So
right.
I think it's either get your first round this year or have it for next year.
Ditto.
All right. I think it's a bad move for Sean. I think it's a good move for the Saints. I think it's a good move for the Broncos. I'm a big Sean fan, though. Always have been, always will be. I know he's abrasive. Not everybody loves him. But he's a great coach.
More than abrasive. He's an asshole, Carter.
Yeah, and that's part of what makes him great. He does a really.
It's kind of to our point about the whole Stetson thing too. Like so for example, people in Louisiana, some people, they love Sean Payton, love him, but they hate Stetson Bennett. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, Sean might be the biggest a-hole in Louisiana history. He was an a-hole to everybody. Bro, everybody. Go listen to one of his press conferences. He trashed everyone.
Yeah, he was
ruthless.
And I know people that close to Sean and then work for Sean and all of that, and they've said the same thing, and it's part of what makes him great. And a lot of the best coaches,
like Adam B says, it's a lot like watching Saban. And speak about fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Speak about fatigue. That shit's exhausting. Like if I'm an Alabama fan and I want to listen to Nick, like out besides SEC media days, it is exhausting.
Well, it's
He's trashing everybody from Kingdom Come. Pause. Until the very end.
Rat poison is the biggest BS I've ever heard in my life.
The biggest BS.
And the fact that people still eat that stuff up is still just baffling to me. But I think it was good for the Saints. It's going to be interesting when they draft Anthony Richardson in the end of the first round. And
oh my! All right,
you
were the person I had the debate with.
Yeah, of course. I watched more AR tape today.
Bro, I'm sorry. He was so bad.
Okay.
And I loved him. I loved him.
First week.
I know, but man, he's just like the whole Jane Daniels comparison, though. Like, how can people legitimately, like, Carter, do you understand how difficult it is for me to visualize people saying that Anthony Richardson's a first-round pick and not saying Jane Daniels is a first-round pick? Do you understand how difficult that is for me to like think about?
Yeah. You love Jaden. I love
No. You misunderstand or hear. How can you say that Anthony Richardson is a better quarterback than Jaden Daniels? Give me one metric.
Vertical passing. He's definitely better.
Not more accurate.
Just
because it looks better doesn't mean it's accurate.
He definitely because Anthony Rich can sling that thing. I saw him throw it in.
It doesn't matter how good he can throw it, like Josh Allen, if the bitch is just gonna fall to the ground.
I saw him throw it in the stands on the last play against Vanderbilt, and it was beautiful because I picked Vanderbilt to cover.
But again, it can be beautiful all the live long day. But if you're throwing for 53% completion percentage and another guy won the West at 70% completion percentage, had more yards, touchdowns than him, then what?
Yeah, but I think
Anthony Richardson, y'all are basing all off of his athleticism and what he can do. It has nothing to do with what he's shown you on the field.
Oh, it has a lot to do with that because his throwing is ridiculous. His raw athleticism is ridiculous.
So you're going to come on my show and talk about how highly inaccurate Jane Daniels is, but in the same breath, you can talk about how good and better Anthony Richardson is as a thrower, he throws a better ball, but throwing a better ball means nothing if it's not going to be completed.
Oh, I'd be the first to tell you that his accuracy needs to be better. And it needs to be better. What else you want me to say?
Carter, he threw for like 38% from balls that went 15 yards or further. Jane Daniels was at 57%.
Yeah, because he would not throw it. You're going to have a lower completion percentage if you don't.
It doesn't matter. If one guy throws 200 and another guy throws 100, what does it really matter? What is it telling you?
What it tells me is Anthony Richardson has more willingness to get the football.
You know what it tells me? That Jane Daniels made the right decision and his team won the West, and Jane Daniels didn't do that in Florida.
Oh, his game versus Florida was magnificent.
So my point is when you're going to sit here and say that Jane, bad, and you want to sit here and defend Anthony Richardson, that's difficult.
I never said Jaden was bad. I said vertically he needs to take more chances down the field. Does he not? Do you not agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that.
Right.
But don't stop that.
I'm not doing anything.
Pooh, what do you think?
I like rice. I do want to see. I mean, everyone wants to see him throw more down the field. I think it's blown out of proportion because I think he does it a lot more than we recognize or that we realize. When he has, a lot of it's been dropped. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot of it. There have been some drops. There have been some inaccuracies. I don't know. I just can't. I don't get I can't see or say AR is better than.
I'm with it. I'm with you.
I don't. Jaden is a better college quarterback than Anthony Richardson.
It doesn't have anything to do with being a college quarterback on this one, Carter. Because if it's nothing to do with on the field and it has everything to do with what his abilities may be and what he could be molded into, then you're basing that off of his raw athleticism. You're not basing it off of what they've done or what they've completed. I could make the argument right now, and I think I could win this argument. Outside of injury, Bryce Young had a better year this year than he did last year.
I'd agree with that. I would wholeheartely agree with
okay.
Yeah.
My point is, why is Bryce going to be the number one overall pick? Give or take. Like if he gets traded up, whatever. You get what I'm saying. He's the true, real number one overall dude. Everybody wants him. It is because of not only his ability and what he's done as a quarterback, but what he's accomplished. Carter, they scored 41 points per game. Anthony Richardson had a lot of times where his offense ran for over 100 yards, and he still completed only 53% of his passes.
Right.
It was putrid. He was putrid at times.
Right. But if I am an NFL GM, and once again, I don't know if I would trade up and just trade my whole draft for him. But if he falls, I am taking a chance. I am, because I am shooting for the stars when I'm drafting a quarterback.
Now I agree with that. Okay, from AR-15's spot and point, I agree with, if you're going to draft off of potential, oh dude, you take him
exactly
in the second round. Like, because the second round pick, it is what it is. You know who else they kind of did that on, and it hit? Jalen Hurts.
Thank you. Exactly.
Okay. Jalen is the same exact thing. However, here's the only difference. Anthony Richardson's gotten worse as a passer from an accuracy standpoint. Okay. What did Jalen Hurts do? He continued to get better.
Right.
Okay. He continued to improve what he was doing through the air. He continued, and then he went to Lincoln, and then he just killed it with Lincoln in the air. We all remember, and he's gotten much better.
Yes.
I don't like guys that are drastically dropping from an accuracy standpoint, because that means that you're number one, you are overthinking, or number two, you haven't yet completely mastered the playbook or what you should do. Meaning, Joe Burrow checks the ball down how many times a game? Like 5, 6, 7. He doesn't care about checking the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson will never do that, because he'll scramble and he'll try to find something, which isn't wrong. But if you're not having Patrick Mahomes type of accuracy, Russell Wilson in Seattle, it really becomes a problem.
Yeah, no. AR's check down game was really horrible.
It was
this year.
very poor.
It was really bad.
And think of how much more their offense would have been if he would have just checked it down to ETN.
Yeah, oh no, they would have been, and Montrell Johnson. Yeah, he left a lot of yards on the field there.
He left a lot.
But I'll say this: I've seen a lot of Saints mocks taking Hendon Hooker in the second round. Saw 2 today.
Would you take Anthony Richardson over Hendon Hooker?
As an NFL quarterback, knowing that I'm getting a QB that is not coming off a torn ACL, I am getting a QB whose offense is far more pro style, far more realistic to what you're going to play in the NFL. I'm taking Anthony Richardson over Hendon Hooker. And Hendon Hooker's a better college quarterback.
Oh, Carter.
And Hendon Hooker is closer to a ceiling right now. But I think if how
long does it take Anthony Richardson to hit his ceiling?
It might take a year, it might take 2. He's obviously not ready to play as a rookie.
But what ceiling? He's not. He would have to have a Josh Allen type of meteoric rise.
And it's rare. It's rare. Josh Allen is a unicorn. And
is he Josh Allen, or is he Zach Wilson?
Well, it's definitely not. Zach Wilson's nowhere close to the level of athlete as Anthony Richardson.
True, but you understand what I'm talking about from a bust perspective.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
You know who was athletic? Mitch Trubisky was really athletic.
And here's the thing. I am not taking Anthony Richardson number 2 overall. My point is, if I'm the New Orleans Saints and I need to hit a grand slam with this pick, I am taking Anthony Richardson over Hendon Hooker. I am. Now, this might get old takes exposed. I could see the same.
Oh, it's getting old takes exposed.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
There's only one place, and Carter, we talked about this, so I feel comfortable that I can mention it. The only place that I think that Anthony Richardson could have an immediate success would if he went to Baltimore.
Not anymore, because they don't have Roman, but
they're going to get somebody like him. They're not going to let Lamar Jackson do like what Burrow's doing. They're not going to do that to him.
Yeah, I mean, I would like that, but I'm telling you, I just think of all the RPO stuff I can do with the AR at the next level.
And what is Baltimore?
A lot of that. But
he would have to go to a very centric place.
Right. Like
very suited for his needs. And New Orleans is not that place.
It's not. So that's something else that's my concern. I would not trust Pete Carmichael molding him.
So we got D'Amico, we got Sean. Sean, no. Who are the teams that need quarterbacks? Texans, no.
No, Texas need a quarterback.
No, I mean, I'm talking about for Anthony Richardson. Like Texans.
Oh yeah.
No, he's not going there.
Would you say Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay, but they're so late in the draft. Who would I'm trying to figure out, like Bryce Young, then CJ Stroud will be number 2, probably.
Or Levis. What
or Levis. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Who would be that second team with the quarterback? Maybe Carolina.
But does Carolina draft a quarterback first round?
With Frank Wright, I think they would.
Yeah, I think.
So CJ Stroud, Will Levis, he's gonna fall to a team that's not gonna fit his needs. I just don't know of a team that would need a quarterback right now that would take now. But you know what? You say that, but that's Nick Foles. I was gonna say Jalen Hurts, but they drafted Carson Wentz, number 2 overall, though. I don't know. Can we admit? So let me ask you this: who would you take as a prospect, Will Levis or Anthony Richardson?
Oh, Richardson, easy. I'm not in on the Levis thing. The one thing I will say about Will Levis, though, is throwing wise, he is majestic, and his deep ball accuracy, to your point a minute ago, Blake, is actually really good. It was just all the intermediate stuff where he would start throwing a lot of picks, trying to do too much. I think of the Georgia game when they were driving, that ended up only being a 10-point game. It was one of these it was the back-to-back road game stat. Georgia was, playing Kentucky. They were the first team to win true back-to-back road games since 2019 LSU. And Will Levis tried to do a hole shot on Keely Ringo that was so dumb. That was picked off. And Levis's just intermediate stuff is just not great for me. But Will Levis has got, such an effortless throwing motion that you can fall in love with it. But I think he's going to be one of these underwear Olympic quarterbacks that a silly franchise like Indianapolis is going to trade up. And that's what a lot of people are thinking. They're thinking Indianapolis is going to trade up and go for Will Levis.
Man, I don't know about this. I would not take Anthony Richardson over Will Levis.
So is Bryce Young your number 1 guy in this draft?
I don't know that yet.
Okay.
It pains me to say that about an Alabama guy, but yeah, I think he is.
Well, the only thing that I would consider is Paul's, but I do know that his size has been an issue for the Texans. So
right.
Yes, I know that for a fact. If that is, what do you do with CJ Stroud?
6'3", great arm, great kid.
And you saw in that Georgia game when he really got serious and focused, he was pretty freaking good.
Yeah, the Georgia game was probably one of the better.
It's the best game he's ever had.
Yeah, it's definitely, up there, one of the best playoff games since Joe, honestly. I mean, it really was that good.
Right. Well, and you know what's crazy about that? Getting back to Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, there's just no way I'm taking AR-15. He's too much. I feel like he's too much of a project to some extent.
No, look, I'm in total agreement. My thing is though, like, I feel as if I am taking him, I am legit just swinging for the fences. I know that it's going to take a GM, an ambitious GM, to spot this out. But I'm telling you, they said for me, I love the traits. I get back to it. I see some of the things AR sees. I feel like processing wise, he's fine. I just think sometimes, his mechanics got jumbly. Like he said, he wouldn't take check downs. He couldn't throw a check down to save his life. Right. I watched that full Florida State game. Guy was bad, 9 of 27. But some of the throws he made in that game were just truly freaking ridiculous.
I got something for you. You know what's going to happen to AR-15 at best?
What's that?
I think Malik Willis happens to him.
I mean,
Malik Willis is going to happen to him. All that build up about Malik Willis and his big arm, and he was going to be a first round pick. He didn't go to the third until the Titans took him. I think that at best, that's going to be what's happened with AR-15.
So you think it's another Malik Willis?
I think he's another Malik Willis.
It could happen.
Well, in reference to drafting, I still think Malik Willis can sit in the pocket and light you up more than maybe AR-15 can. But you know what I do think about AR-15 is that if he played year one in a bad system, it would really look like Malik Willis.
Watch Will Levis go first. He's a pro-type big kid frat boy QB that the coaches love could easily.
I don't think the Texans aren't going to do that. The Texans aren't going to do that. Somebody would have to trade up.
Malik Willis is also 6 foot and played at Liberty. I
get that, but everybody in here thinking that Anthony Richardson lights you up with his arm, he doesn't. Carter, he doesn't.
I mean, let's talk about his game versus LSU. Did he not have a great game versus LSU?
Let me go back and look at the stats.
I mean, the first throw over Converse.
That was a massive throw.
And you get the 80-yard run later in the game. That was truly incredible.
I think that was more about poor tackling than just his athleticism.
I agree with that too.
No, yeah. Normally, if someone has a cartoonish run like that, there's going to be
Carter. I get what you're saying, but think about it like this. Okay, he went 15 of 25 for 185 yards and a tutty. He had 9 carries for 109 yards, and he also had an 80-yard run for a touchdown.
Okay.
So I'm going to contradict the shit out of myself for just a minute. Right. A lot of people sometimes talk about good running backs and, well, he didn't really run the ball that good. He just had one 45-yard run. And my argument's always been, well, he still had a 45-yard run. You can't take it away from him. He still did it, right?
Right.
Buddy, that means that he had 8 other carries where he didn't get but less than 2 yards per carry. Right. He didn't light you up through the air. No, I mean, he had a good play. He had 2 good plays, but if I remember correctly, I mean, he was pretty mediocre outside of those 2 big plays, was he not?
He had a good throw to Pearsall over the middle, mixed in there. I'd have to go back and watch the thing.
As soon as we get off of here, I might go watch that.
Right.
Actually, I really do want to go watch that. I don't think that he had a massive game because here's the thing though, Carter, here's the problem that I have. Okay, because then I go over to LSU and then I look at Jane Daniels going 23 of 32 for 349 and 3 touchdowns. And yes, okay, whatever. He ran the ball 14 times for 44 yards. What better quarterback am I getting? I don't want sometimes you don't want an athlete. It's like the argument, would you rather Mahomes or Burrow sometimes? Think if Mahomes wasn't Mahomes. Okay, and think of Josh Allen in a sense instead of Mahomes. Who's the better quarterback? Well, Joe's a better quarterback. I just can't. I think Jaden is a better overall quarterback than Anthony Richardson is. I think people just get too much into the fact of that he's just a superior athlete.
Yeah, no, I will not disagree that Jaden is a better college quarterback than Anthony Richardson.
I'm going to get you to stop saying college quarterback. He's just a better over quarterback. Right now
he is. Yes. No, I would agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're both college quarterbacks. Like right now, neither one of them have played an NFL game. But yeah, I have no reason. I don't know Anthony Richardson. I hate Florida more than any other SEC school. I just see
even more than Bama.
Yeah, I hate Florida worse than anybody.
Okay.
Worse than anybody.
I agree with that one too.
No, I think the hatred. I think the hatred between LSU and Alabama.
I hate Bama fans. I hate Florida as a state.
Nah, well,
I think I think the LSU Florida hatred
goes back longer.
Well, not only that, I just think it's a little bit more authentic in that. Okay, LSU and Bama fans hate each other for what? Nick Saban, right?
Yeah, if he leaves, do you really hate him as much?
Right, but outside of that, there aren't like a whole lot of incidents outside of the Crystal Burger incident where you can point to and say, okay, LSU and Alabama fans just hate each other. LSU, Florida, there's so much visceral stuff. There's the fake, the making fun of Mike the Tiger dying. There's how Florida handled.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
That pissed a lot of fans.
Florida fans, I do think are worse than Bama fans sometimes.
Exactly. I
I've never met a really good, fun Florida fan.
And there's some. I mean, like
And
everybody.
my in-laws are Florida fans.
Exactly. I think there's bad apples in every fan base. I just think
We're
vitriol.
okay.
I think the vitriol between LSU and Florida is more about us hating them, and I think LSU and Bama is us two trying to achieve greatness. If you get what I mean.
I was when I was 2011, I was deployed for that season. My 2 roommates were Florida fans.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
Oh God, no!
It was awesome. That was the Brad Wing punt and everything.
Oh, okay. Huh?
Yeah.
Listen, they've talked about a really good place to like go to college. It's had really tough times in football.
Yeah.
They just can't get it right.
Who?
Florida. Like how does LSU go get a Brian Kelly and Florida has to go get Billy Napier? Like where is that a remotely like Florida should be able to get a Brian Kelly? You know what I mean?
I will say Florida had 2 of the most interesting quarterback recruiting stories we can remember. So they had the Jaden Rashada story, right? And that got all the headlines. But Pooh Bear, I know you guys covered this. The Marcus Stokes.
The kid that
The Marcus.
Yeah, we talked about that tonight. Yeah.
Okay, so the Marcus Stokes.
He's going to HBCU, isn't he?
No,
they offered him. There were actually 2 that offered him. He's going to West Florida.
Going to West Florida.
Oh, so he just got offered by HBCUs.
Yeah, they one offered him and then rescinded it.
Rescinded.
And then, another offered, but he's going to West Florida.
Well, what do you think? What do you think? I wasn't able to listen. What do you think?
Right.
About it?
I think it was a bad look. I mean, he deserves a second chance. I don't think that needs to be at a HBCU. No, that's just not it's not a good look.
I still can't believe both of those stories happened to Florida in a month. $13 million.
So let me ask you this, Carter. Do you think Florida, if they didn't get Rashada, you think they pulled that scholarship?
No, they keep them. I mean, you got to have a QB every class, man. Now, what I think eventually there would have been enough public pressure, and it would have been so heavy that.
Well, if you remember too, now there's actually 3 major stories within the last month and a half, 2 months. The Kitna kid.
Oh yes, the Kitna kid. I totally forgot about that story.
With the juvenile.
God bless. God,
their quarterback room has gone through it, buddy.
Anthony
Richardson leaves too early. Kitna gets popped for being a pedo. Jaden Rashada, and then I don't even know the other kid's name.
Marcus Stokes.
Oh, Stokes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Marcus Stokes. I forgot about the Kitna story.
Think about
that story. That story. Florida is just crazy.
Like, how can you not go get a Lincoln Riley, Brian Kelly, Dabo? Like, how can you just not do it? Like, I feel like Florida just shoots themselves in the foot so much. Everybody around here wanted Billy Napier so bad, and I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, you hired Brian Kelly.
Urban Meyer's probably somewhere saying, man, they thought I was bad. They thought I know.
No wonder why the man lost.
Napier, speaking of Napier, he finally got to see Florida beat Tennessee tonight.
Oh, basketball?
Finally, yeah.
Finally.
That may be the only way he sees it.
Well, all right.
Him in baseball.
Well, Blake,
Tennessee's really good, but Florida's really good.
Y'all said y'all were signing off 30 minutes ago. So,
well, you continue.
I didn't say anything.
This narrative.
There is no narrative. This is just my objective opinion. That's the thing.
Carter, you know deep down, if your ass was on the line, you would take Jaden right now over AR-15. You know that.
To lead my team right now, 1,000%.
So then call Jaden a number 1 or first round pick.
Would I call Jaden Daniels a first round quarterback? Would I give him a first round grade right now for like an NFL franchise?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wouldn't give him a first round grade objectively. I wouldn't.
Y'all hate that man so bad.
I don't hate him. No one. There's no hate from me. No
You
hate.
hate him.
Why do you think I hate him? I have his bobblehead right here. It's I don't give first round grades to a quarterback often. The only quarterback that I would say,
you arch Manning lover.
I know. Me being the noted Arch Manning lover. I'm a Peyton lover, not so much Arch.
All right, we can end on this one.
There's two quarterbacks I would give a first round grade to in this crop. All right, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. Those would be the only two quarterbacks I would take with a first round pick. So my threshold for a first round quarterback is really high. So if you're saying right now,
I don't think Jaden's a first round pick, like personally, I'm just saying that if you're going to put no, I don't. I'm just saying if you're going to put Anthony Richardson there, you're crazy not to put Jaden. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't think that he's a first round pick.
Okay.
Hell, I don't think he's a third round. I think he's maybe a third round pick, maybe.
So you're saying that about Jaden or Anthony?
Both.
Okay.
But I'm really saying about Jaden, it just blows my mind how you could put Will Levis in front of Jaden.
I wouldn't do that.
But you see what I'm saying?
I'm not in on the Will Levis thing.
I'm not either. Dude's trash.
And look,
he puts freaking mayo in his coffee, bro.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, you can't do weird stuff like that. I don't want my leader to be. I don't want to be out there and my leader being like, I'd be like, man, that nasty piece of crap, that Botana, he put mayonnaise in his coffee this morning. His breath smells like Dookie water.
But look, I love Jaden Daniels, and he's going to be the starter, and he's going to lead LSU to many great things next year. Okay, there are a lot of things that needs to get worked on as a quarterback.
I think that's kind of a Captain Von Erich's comment. He said athletes are just a knee away, while a guy like Nussmeier can be a first rounder. Nussmeier likes to run too, if I'm not mistaken.
What did he say?
Well, the thing is Jaden has never been hurt.
Well, first off,
Mr. Star.
Every athlete of all time ever is a knee away. What are you talking about? I'm old enough to remember when Tom Brady tore his ACL from sitting in the pocket. I'm old enough to remember when Joe Burrow had the worst offensive line in the history of creation, and his offensive lineman slung a D lineman on Joe's leg. More injuries happen to quarterbacks inside the pocket than they do outside the pocket. That is a scientific fact. It's not opinion. It's science.
Well, I will say this. More great quarterbacks get hurt and out for the year than not great quarterbacks. At some point it happens for a lot of people, right? And Peyton Manning, who to this day is still the best quarterback I've ever seen with my two eyes, got cut. So, I mean,
right. You saw the Derek Carr thing today. He said he wanted to save face and not get cut, and he'd rather be traded.
Oh man,
like if Peyton Manning got if
Peyton Manning can, I saw that. I saw if a team can say, "Hey, Peyton, we no longer need your services," and him, I think the thing people forget about Peyton, and I know I'm a Peyton homer, big Peyton homer, but the Broncos years were so freaking good. His Broncos years were so freaking good. And that was just absurd. Him, going to a completely different team. And they had good, they had DT, they had Eric Decker. They had some pieces, but Peyton was absurd with the Broncos. Best QBR in the league his first 2 years there. ESPN QBR.
Didn't he throw like damn near 92 touchdowns in his first 2 years in Denver?
Yeah,
it was insane.
He put
it 100 right, and then he was close to having 150 touchdowns in 3 seasons, and then his neck acted up again, and he threw wobblers. How crazy is that?
Here's the thing about Peyton Manning that people do not give him enough credit for is if the quarterback if the quarterback protection rules were around when he played, he would have played as long as Brady played.
Especially in Indy. Especially if that rule was in there when he was, because his O-line in Denver wasn't that bad. No. It was bad at times, but it wasn't that bad.
Peyton was absurd. And I know I'm supposed to like Drew Brees better than Peyton Manning. I do.
I don't.
But I'm telling you,
I love Peyton more than I love Drew.
Yeah, Peyton, like it's Brady, Manning. I can make a strong argument for Manning over Brady as well, but I could. We can get into the Super Bowl wins and all that stuff.
What 7 fingers do you want to pick from first?
Hey, so I could actually make an argument that Brady's knee injury proves that he's not as good as people say. The year he got hurt and he hurt his knee, they went 11-5 and missed the playoffs.
Oh, but look at Kurt Warner was a better quarterback.
That's a really bad take.
Oh my goodness. Really? Kurt Warner.
But Kurt Warner was a dog though. I mean, it's not
he's great. But Kurt Warner, you could make an argument
that Kurt Warner was a dog.
Dude, Kurt Warner's one of the best Super Bowl quarterbacks of all time. Like he was, even though he lost.
They were what were they called? What on grass?
Greatest show on turf.
Greatest show on turf.
Mike Martz, Torrey Holt,
Isaac Bruce,
Torrey Holt with the.
I met Isaac Bruce like a year ago. Meanest man I've ever met.
But
not really.
But I will say that
wasn't having it.
Modern era quarterbacks, okay. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Gap, whoever you want to put at number 3, you can put at number 3. You put whoever you want at number 3. It could be Mahomes for all I care. I mean, I think the gap between Brady and Manning and everybody else is wide. I think it's a chasm, if you're asking me.
I'm still going to stand on the morals on the hill. I'm down the hill. People don't give Warren Moon enough credit.
Hall of Famer, yeah, I get down with Warren. Warren's a beast. But
is Warren in y'all's top 10?
No,
he's in my top 10.
Yeah, he's not in my top 10 either.
No, he's not. No, come on. Are we talking just modern era? Just modern era guys?
Well, I mean, he's not really modern era. But.
Okay, so when
he did throw this shit out that thing though.
Yeah, no, he was great. Warren Moon was great. But Warren Moon in this conversation is like if we're talking about Jordan, Shaq, Duncan, and you bring up Kevin Garnett, right? Like I think Warren Moon's all-time great, like Kevin Garnett, but he's not in the upper tier of guys that we're talking about here.
I think he is. If you look at the yards he threw in the air where they weren't really throwing.
I'd be interested.
Hey, you know what?
Can we not? You know how people talk about how rich someone was back in it? Can we not use inflation to bring his?
The argument I always make for Warren Moon is if you're going to put Dan Marino in there, you got to put in Warren Moon.
I'd have to go look at that
because the stats. I mean, Warren Moon got stats now.
Yeah, he does. And think about his first 4 or 5 years he played in the CFL and had thousands of yards that didn't even count towards.
Yeah, I mean, dude was a monster, bro.
And it was.
And I think winning a Super Bowl is a big deal from that legacy. Like I think people talk about winning a Super Bowl so nonchalantly.
Well,
it is literally the toughest thing to do.
I agree, but I also don't like everyone says Brady's the GOAT because he has 7 rings, but that's more of a team accomplishment, and I don't like giving team accolade. Which I'm not saying he's not one of the major part, but I think if I can't recall, his first 3 Super Bowls were more on the defense, and thank you, Ant. His first 3 Super Bowls were more on the defense and Adam Vinatieri than they were on him.
Why? Because Vinatieri hit a last-second field goal. I mean, Vinatieri did.
And the defense literally stepped up. So I'll give you
Peyton's got one of his though from a defensive performance.
So here's I can give you the Seattle. I can give you the Atlanta. I can give you. I can't really even give you Tampa Bay because he looked like dog crap against Tampa Bay.
Who?
I mean, not against Tampa Bay. With Tampa Bay against the Chiefs,
he still won one. He
won, but it wasn't. But did Brady win or did the defense like have a lights out game?
Okay, on that run, his only exceptional game was the Green Bay game. The other 3 games were mid. They were okay, but he also doesn't lose the game, and that is just so key. So here's a good example.
He still got 7 of them things though.
Exactly. So it's like Joe Burrow in these playoff games. Joe Burrow does not lose the game for his team, right? And I think, if we're being fair, right, one of the big playoff wins for Brady in recent years was when he went into the Dome and beat Drew. And the truth of that game, as painful as it is for me to say, is Drew did more to lose that game than Brady did.
Agreed.
If you go look at the EPA per play of the modern era playoff games, Drew Brees had the worst EPA per play of any playoff game of the past 4 years in that game versus Tom Brady. So what a lot of quarterbacks do in these games, they lose it more than they win it. And Tom Brady just has so many of these playoff games that he just doesn't go out there and lose it. And, that's how he won so many of these playoff games. And it's wild. So, I mean, there is something to be said about playing in 10 Super Bowls, winning 7 of them. And Brady's best Super Bowl performance came versus the Eagles in a game that he lost. Now the Falcons come back.
There you go. Those 3.
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, he threw.
That's just so.
He threw for 500 yards. He threw for 500 yards versus the Eagles in that Super Bowl. 500 yards. That is an absurd. It's an absurd amount of yards. Absurd. But that goes to show you that a lot of times some of the best quarterback performances you see in the playoffs come in losses, which is just crazy to think about. Pooh Bear's totally right that a Super Bowl ring is more of a team accomplishment. Football is the ultimate team game when it comes to the major sports, which is why Peyton Manning is the true GOAT.
Now, and again, I take nothing away from Brady winning those rings. In football, I don't take it away, but I don't elevate him because he has those rings.
Okay, let me ask you this. And you're going to say it's because he played longer. But you can't do that because durability is a part of it.
Okay.
He's got more yards. He's got more touchdowns. He's got more Super Bowl rings than anybody.
Okay, and again, I can use that
away from him, Pooh.
That's not. Did I say that? Did I say? Never said that. What I'm saying is, I can give him credit for that. I'm not giving him credit for the rings, just necessarily strength of. Oh, he's got more rings.
Michael Jordan's not the best basketball player.
Basketball is completely different. You can, as one player in basketball can completely take over.
And and a quarterback is the biggest and toughest position in all.
And again, how many games did he actually win in the Super Bowl? Versus
he's a 5-time MVP. What do you mean?
Okay, the NFL MVP. Name how many times that you can.
No.
Let me finish. In MVP. How many times have you seen a player win MVP and you literally can be like, I thought it should have gone to someone else?
But it did.
But it goes to the quarterback, right? Because the quarterback gets all the glory.
And he's supposed to. It's the toughest position in sports.
But again, the defense outplayed
so
most
if you
of those
can
teams.
say that for one, then you can give him the 3 losses.
I literally said that
if you want to take his wins away from him, then you got to take some of the losses when he threw for 500 yards against.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But again, what I'm saying,
7 and evens out.
But what I'm saying is, there are Super Bowls that he's won where he was not necessarily the great, Tom Brady that we expected to see. That he's just, oh my God, did you see Tom Brady last night? It was like, no. the Rams. They
No,
won what?
everybody was saying
10-6,
got another
10-7 against the Rams, 10-6, 10-7 or something like
No,
that.
no, it was more than that. Yeah,
No, the first the one where the Rams, the no call year. What was the Super Bowl score?
Oh,
that was
a low one.
Yeah, it was like 10-6, 10-7. Brady looked like shit.
So did
13-3. Oh, the recent one. Yeah,
13-3. He looked like shit. Against Tampa Bay against Kansas City, Brady did
He's
nothing.
still getting back there, though. The point that I'm trying to make is you can talk about the Super Bowl game, but he's still getting them there.
Look at this. Okay. So here's my point. Here's my point.
Not getting them there.
Okay, I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying.
I am hearing. You're not.
I'm not saying he's not great. What I'm saying is I'm not giving him full credit for. I'm not going to say, oh, because he has a ring, because he's the ring, he's the GOAT. That's what I'm not saying.
Then who's the best?
Who's the best?
Yeah, if he's not the best, then who's the best?
Peyton Manning.
I could argue Peyton Manning. I could argue
who's the best.
The only one you can argue is Peyton Manning. The only
I can argue Peyton. I could. There's times I could even argue.
And then I can go at their record and say you can say.
So are we again? You're talking about the record, or are we talking about their stats?
Who he's been there 10 times.
Okay. If that's the case, if just making it,
he's almost been there.
Just making it is the thing. Then why is LeBron not considered the GOAT?
He is considered one of them, but the difference with LeBron and what you said, you can't go to two sports. But I will entertain that idea.
Okay,
he's 6. He doesn't have the 6 that Michael does.
Okay, but again, it's not.
He's not undefeated. He's not undefeated.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
It's true.
And it's true. But here's my thing.
But going
and
back,
I keep trying. I'm sorry, Carter.
No, you go on, Pete.
What I keep trying to say, having the 7 rings is not what should be the qualifier for saying he's the GOAT.
It's not.
But you keep bringing it up.
Pooh, I've already brought up, which no one wants to talk about. He leads in passing yards. He leads in touchdowns.
Blake, did I ever say that wasn't the qualifier? Did I ever say that wasn't the qualifier? I am simply saying the championship rings, the Super Bowl should not be the qualifier.
That is the ultimate accomplishment
of the team.
True. Then take away. You could damn near take away half of his appearances and still give him the rest of the stats. He would still be the best quarterback of all time because he'd have more Super Bowl championships and MVPs than any other quarterback in history. He would still have more touchdowns and more yards, and he'd have damn near more appearances. So you're cutting his career in half of them.
Okay.
You could, though, Pooh.
Again, I'm more concerned about his stats than I am about the ring.
I just gave you his stats.
And I'm saying that still qualifies him to be the GOAT. But I'm not giving. I am not saying that. I'm simply saying, okay, he throws for most yards, most touchdowns. Great. That's the GOAT. Goat him for that. But don't say, oh, because he has 7 rings. I'm not giving him that.
He's just saying it's part of it. My point is the only person that has a legitimate case is Peyton Manning.
I don't think he's got a legit case.
Oh, he's definitely got a case. 5 MVPs, all-time QBR, Peyton Manning.
No, he's not.
Four times in the modern era, Peyton Manning had the highest ESPN QBR. And 2 of those were with Indianapolis.
What did it mean?
2 of those were with the Broncos.
And he still threw picks against the Patriots. He still threw picks against other teams and lost. It wasn't just the Patriots that did it to him either. The Ravens did it to him too. The Steelers did it to him too.
Okay, you lose to great teams every now and then. But against Brady
didn't.
Yeah, Brady's lost.
You're right. He didn't lose. He won
more of those games than he lost.
He didn't lose to great teams. He lost to the New York Giants.
They're 2-time Super Bowl winning team in 6 years.
They beat him
but has Peyton Manning
what?
Peyton Manning
won 2 Super Bowls in 6 years. They were pretty damn. Tom Coughlin's not a crappy coach.
I'm not saying he isn't.
Peyton Manning's got a case.
He doesn't have a case.
Yes, he does. 5
No.
Super Bowl rings.
That's like, okay, then I can make the argument that Drew Brees does.
I mean 5 MVP. 5 MVPs.
There's a way. There's a. You
Super
can
Bowl
argue
rings.
Drew Brees.
I
I may not necessarily agree with it, but you can
No,
argue.
you can't argue.
No,
Drew
you can't
Brees.
argue.
Yeah, Drew Brees doesn't have an MVP. He doesn't have a single MVP.
That's how crazy is that?
It's crazy because Mahomes stole it from him in 2018.
So
And
can we say the MVP is sometimes a prom queen, prom king kind of award?
okay, my retort to that would be, which MVP should Drew Brees have won over any of the guys that actually won them?
I don't know. I gotta go.
Who
back
won
and
the
look
ones
again.
in this 5,000 year?
I
I think it was Adrian Peterson.
It might have been. I mean, Drew threw for 5,000 twice. I think. Let me see. NFL MVPs.
All right, I got about 10 more minutes, and I gotta go.
I do too. I might not
Answer
have a
this question
bride.
and we're gonna get out.
I might not have a bride. The good wedding advice is not discussing.
My stream this long. I can't believe we got this many followers.
I am sometimes shocked at when our streams go long. There's still 70 people in here. I'm very blessed. What's the number at right now? I haven't looked in a while. 63. Look at that. AR, Lamar. So what were the Drew Brees?
Someone said 09. So he should have got it in 09, but they gave it to Peyton
Manning. Okay. So what were Peyton Manning's numbers?
Well, that's the year that they played each other in the Super Bowl.
Okay. So
His
Peyton
stats
Manning.
gonna be unreal that year.
Okay.
Sean Alexander. Y'all remember Sean Alexander?
Yeah.
I have his jersey actually.
What a dude.
Yeah, I love the elbow pads. They only went to Alabama, but
I think it was 12. I think it was that Adrian Peterson year that Drew got snubbed.
okay. Let me see. And trust me, I love me some Drew. I mean, he's always going to be my favorite, but Peyton's definitely that dude. So 5,000 he threw for it in 2016. Well, he threw it for 3 times here. 2016. No, he threw it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
2012 and 2011. 2011, he had that 5,476 yards and 46 TDs. Who had it? Who had it in
2011 was Aaron Rodgers for the Packers.
Who had it in
2012? Adrian Peterson.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and then Adrian Peterson.
Hold on.
That his other 5,000 year was 2008. That went to Peyton Manning. And his other 5,000. 2016.
He went.
Oh, Matt Ryan.
No, 2016. Oh, no, 2011, you said. Oh, dude, in 2011, he went 14-1. He threw for 4,600 yards, 45 TDs, and 6 picks. So they had damn near the same amount of touchdowns, and Aaron Rodgers had like 10 less interceptions.
Man, that Niners playoff game. Ugh. God, that one's brutal. That Niners team was loaded.
Vernon Davis, baby.
Vernon Davis. Y'all remember Justin Smith?
Yeah. You remember Scott Fujita?
Fajita. Let's go.
I always used to want to eat fajitas every time I heard his last name. Didn't you? Didn't you?
Yes. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and sign this off. We've gotten into so many different topics.
Dudes.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Carter.
How about cheers? How about? All right, guys. It was a lot of fun. Don't forget, subscribe, ring the bell. Very laid back live stream. There you go. I do have a basketball game tomorrow night, so if we do live stream tomorrow, I know we normally do our Thursday night thing. It might be a little bit later. We'll talk to you soon, okay? It is Power Hour LSU. Bam! Peyton Manning's a GOAT. And tonight, we are doing some Parmesan salmon, baby. Let's go.